And we are live, everybody.
Ni
Hey,
hao.
yeah. Haha.
Hola.
We're back again and again and again. Okay. Yes, this is the Movie Busters episode 45. X-Men franchise yet again. This time the prequel series. We're gonna tackle the prequel movies. First Class, Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. And a little bonus at the end, New Mutants, because we don't know where else to put it there. So just throw it in here. Get that out
Yeah.
of with. Yeah. All right. Of course, I'm Alex, aka Alex 3.0, and I'm joined by Rob, aka from Rob's Nightmares. Still in his nightmares. Yeah. And of course, I'm joined by Thomas, aka HorrorFan34, aka Philly Boy, aka Birthday Boy.
What's going on, guys?
Yes.
Officially 30 years old.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yep, and we need to have the strippers come on.
Yes, I think he's at that age now. Yeah,
He's at that age now.
he's at that age now. 30, okay, he's old enough. All right. Yeah. So if you saw our stream 2 weeks ago, we talked about the original X-Men trilogy. We liked the first two. Third one we didn't hate, but we weren't that big on it. That was our overall thoughts on that.
It's better than some of the entries.
Oh yeah, go check out that stream if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And now we off to the past. What kind of? Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Just hold on a second. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men First Class
First Class.
came out in the summer of 2011.
Man, that's crazy.
Directed by Matthew Vaughn, who I briefly mentioned he was supposed to direct X-Men 3 at one point. He left the project, but eventually came back for this one. And if you know Matthew Vaughn, he had directed Kick-Ass before this.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did that one. And I think also, what's the other movie he did
I'll look it up real
that
quick.
had Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer, and there was like I don't know, was it a pirate movie? It was like a swashbuckling movie.
He did. I'm looking at the films right now.
'Cause he did Kingsman after this.
He did Kick-Ass. He did First Class, the Kingsman movies.
But before this, I'm talking about before Kick-Ass though.
He did a film called The Debt.
Right.
He did Stardust.
Stardust, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, Stardust.
This isn't like a cult movie now or something. I never saw it, so.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, as from First Class, takes the characters Charles Xavier and Eric Lencher from their younger years. When this is how they started the X-Men. So we get some returning characters, but they play by different actors. Of course. James McAvoy is Charles Xavier. Michael Fassbender is Magneto. Jennifer Lawrence is Mystique, and Nicholas Hoult as Beast.
Yep.
January Jones as Emma Frost.
Yeah. And then some other ones.
Or should I say?
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost.
Yeah.
Emma Frost.
Yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the X-Men First Class?
Well, Thomas, it's your birthday. Why don't you go?
Yeah, birthday boy, go. What do you think about X-Men First Class?
One. I still think this is one of my favorite X-Men movies to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I still think this is one of my favorite ones. This is the, like I said, first of the newer films that were after a few years, and I like the additions to the cast that they have. Really, when Jennifer Lawrence was not, all what she is nowadays.
Yeah, because Hunger Games didn't come out till 2012, I think, right?
Yeah. This is before Hunger Games.
Well, you can kind of say, like, I'm very kind of surprised that, like, this wasn't really like her first, like, big breakout, because this was a huge hit too.
Yeah,
At least I think it was. I was
She did
Winter's Bone.
Yeah, before this, yeah.
That was more of an independent film.
I know, but like that's the movie that got her recognition at first.
Yeah. I think I think she plays a really great young Mystique. I thought she does really resemble the young Rebecca. Rebecca Romijn was Mystique, right?
Yeah.
I think she does represent a younger Rebecca Romijn very, very well. I really like the character of Mystique. I think Jennifer Lawrence was perfectly casted in the role. And I really would like to say, James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. I thought he was a great addition. Plus, I'm really have become a bigger fan of James McAvoy over the years with their films like Split or things of that nature. So I thought James McAvoy portrayed the younger Patrick Stewart very, very well. And the other cast members too, like you have
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender as
Magneto. That's his name.
I had a long day at work today. I literally got the door. So
But this is how they become the
yeah,
characters.
my brain is like fried from
No,
work
it's okay.
today. So I'm blanking on a couple.
The metal guy.
Yeah, Magneto. I'm a big fan of Michael Fassbender as well. So like overall, the cast overall, like all the newer characters and everything, I thought it blended in so well. And I really do like Matthew Vaughn as a director. I think he did a great job with the Kingsman stuff, and I thought he did a great. And you said he was supposed to do what X-Men film?
X-Men 3.
Oh, he was going to do The Last Stand.
Yes.
And who ended up doing that instead?
Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner. That's right. So, and I like Matthew Vaughn, and not to mention too with Matthew Vaughn when he directed Stardust, that starred a very, very young Charlie Cox before he was Daredevil. In the Netflix show of Daredevil.
Yeah.
I
didn't know he was in that movie.
Yeah, Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, well before he was Daredevil.
Uh-huh.
But easily, I probably say, I'm trying to think like based on like out of all the X-Men that I've seen, like out of all the ones that I've seen, I still say X2 is my favorite. But I would say, I almost want to say this is probably my top 3 at least for X-Men. Like this one, and I'll mention the other one. It's I probably say my top 3 are probably X2, this one, and probably the first movie. No, maybe Days of Future Past. Probably it's kind of.
We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that when we get Days of Future Past. But I think it was I really do enjoy the film quite a bit. Like the cast is great, and the action sequences are great. And this is one of the ones where this a kind of prequel actually works, because not really prequels really work out so well, or not that very interesting. But I think this is one of those rare times where a prequel does work, and I think it helps too that you have such a capable cast of characters. I almost want to say like my favorite like newer character of the group that came aboard in this franchise. I almost want to say it's kind of between either James McAvoy as Professor X or Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. I think both of them are like on an equal level playing field. But yeah, overall, I mean, what more can I say about First Class that hasn't been said? This is easily one of my favorite X-Men films, and there's so many scenes that I can like action sequence wise. And
what's the one that stands out to you the most?
The one that stands out to me the most, man, that's a great question. If I have to think about it, I like the whole idea where they have to lead. Probably that whole sequence where they lead. It's Professor X and all them. They lead a CIA mission into the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
It's to start World War III. And like that's probably one I love that one where they have to go capture Emma Frost and they have to, all that stuff. I probably say that's probably one of my. I want to say that might be my favorite like sequence in the whole film, but definitely one of my favorites of sequences in the film. Just because I don't know what is like. It was just like good. I think about like World War III, and it's like So, yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. And also too the whole where the scene where the characters of Azazel, Riptide, and Shaw, they attack the division and they kill everybody but except the mutant characters.
Who's Riptide?
Wait, what?
Who's Riptide?
Who is Riptide?
Yeah, in the movie you mentioned some guy named Riptide. Who's that?
Yeah, it's a character.
Yeah, but who's that though in the movie?
Riptide was played by Alex.
He's he's like a silent guy.
Yeah, but always.
He creates.
Oh, is he the tornado guy?
He creates the whirlwinds with his
Wait,
body.
is he okay? I always call him Tornado Man.
Oh yeah,
because they don't say his name. They don't say his name in the movie. So.
Well,
he doesn't really talk.
Right. Okay.
That's another one, and I almost keep forgetting that.
I know.
I always keep forgetting that Jason Fleming played Azazel. I like Jason Fleming as an actor. He
usually worked with Matthew Vaughn.
I'm about to say, what else did he work with Matthew?
I think, wasn't he in Kingsman, one of the Kingsman movies?
He might have been.
Yeah.
But I always remember, did Matthew Vaughn do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or no?
No, I don't think so.
He didn't do that? Okay, because I know Jason Fleming played the Invisible.
No, Jason Fleming did, he did like Snatch from 2000.
He did Bruiser.
Two Smoking Barrels.
Okay. Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, was he Santa Claus?
Yeah, he was a Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jason Fleming as the Santa Claus. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, John? Gavin Van Nosen? Johnny, that's my buddy, Johnny Awful.
Hey, what's up?
He said he was Tommy the Fat Man in Lock, Stock. Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, he was. And
but
that's probably my favorite sequence in the whole film. Is that little sequence there, the leading into the Soviet Union, and Azazel, they attack the division, and even when Shaw ends up killing Munoz, and it's that whole thing, and it deals with the whole thing where there's like a submarine, and there's the U.S. Installed missiles in Cuba. There's like
that's the finale.
Yeah. Like that whole that long sequence of that particular thing alone was really the most enticing thing for, at least in my eyes, in the film. Right. It was just kind of interesting to see, the backstory of how this is a prequel. It goes back to back in 1944 with the concentration camp, and where you get to see Klaus.
Yeah, what happened exactly?
Like what happened in the Auschwitz concentration camp, and then it flashes back, and then it flashes forward to, I think, 1962, and you get to see Professor X get his doctorate from the University of Oxford, and then it goes to Vegas, and you get to see Moira following the Colonel into the Hellfire Club, and like I said, that's why I'm saying, this is probably one. There's so many things that stand out to me about this film. That is that's probably why it's one of my favorite X-Men films, because there's so many things I can think of, especially when it goes into the whole mission to the Soviet Union and the fight that happens with all the mutants and all that stuff. I mean, I can go on and on about X-Men First Class, but I don't want to spend too much time because I want you guys to get your thoughts on this. But X-Men First Class is definitely 2 thumbs up. It's definitely one of my favorites of the entire X-Men franchise. And especially, it's one of my favorites of the prequel series.
Okay. Cool. All right, Rob, go ahead.
I think I agree with Thomas. I feel like this is one of the better movies. I don't feel like this one gets talked about as much as Days of Future Past or Apocalypse or.
It's kind of funny before you get back to your thoughts, Rob. I kind of consider this the Batman Begins of this franchise.
I kind of feel like this.
You always say that.
I feel like this is underrated.
It is.
And what's interesting is Bryan Singer did the story along with another person, but
with Matthew Vaughn and someone else.
He still has his hands in this movie.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult as Beast, I really liked him as Young Beast, and Hank. I didn't think I would at first, but I really did like him because Kelsey Grammer is my favorite Beast.
Nicholas Hoult is a soon to be Lex Luthor in Superman.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Another one of my favorite characters is Havoc.
Oh yeah.
I've always been a fan of him ever since X-Men comics. But Sebastian Shaw, Kevin Bacon, that guy,
great.
He was
The
that
Bacon
was
Man.
perfect casting for him.
He was great.
Yeah, he was so menacing and so manipulative, and I really enjoyed him. But like this movie, like when you were talking about the action scenes, like I think the third act, like I love the fact that when something happens to, I mean, everyone's seen this movie probably now, but something happens to Professor X, or Charles, I should say, at that time, Magneto does something to showcase his powers, and I just think that whole scene is it's emotional, but yet at the same time, it's really cool. And there's definitely some great action scenes in this, but I feel like this movie does showcase a lot of their powers, which I've always, when you have a movie like this, you gotta kind of like single that out. You gotta kind of like show what they can do and why they're doing it and this and that. But what was the group? I think there was a group called the Hellfire Club. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, that was the group and the bad guys.
Yeah, like the Hellfire Club. That was
Right.
kind of cool.
Mhm.
And the fact that we see like Sebastian Shaw that he has Magneto's helmet, like that's where the helmet, that's where you see it first.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a cool thing. But like all in all, like this movie's PG-13. I thought they did a good job with that. I mean, hell, it probably couldn't have. It could have been a rated R movie if they wanted to. But not really too much more to say about it. I think no one really talks about it as much. I saw it in the theater, and
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Mhm.
Coming off of the other movies, it was kind of different. You had to kind of get used to it because it did come before that. So
Right.
It was kind of refreshing too because it was like from 2006 to 2011. So
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch the movie, it does kind of feel like you're in that universe still.
Yeah.
So that's good. But like I said, Bryan Singer had his hand in it. So anyway,
because it was his characters and
Yeah, because he was actually supposed to direct it at first.
yeah.
what ended up happening with Bryan Singer.
No, but he was busy actually. I think working on Jack the Giant Slayer at the time.
Oh, Jack the Giant Slayer.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Another character we got is Banshee, and who yells.
Yes.
I thought, Banshee was cool. I don't know. The characters were the characters that they picked for this little ensemble I thought it was pretty cool. Like it's different kinds, unique. So that's all I really have to say. I mean, I agree with Thomas about like James. James McAvoy is perfect pick. So yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, this is the first out of the X-Men movies that I saw in theaters, so it's pretty cool to see him.
And Banshee is played by Caleb Landry Jones, soon to be of Get Out fame.
Right, but I had seen him. I had seen that actor before this. It was the movie Last Exorcism.
Exorcism, yep.
Oh
He was in that one.
As the sister, the girl.
He's the kid that gets torn up with his mouth.
He's the creepy. He's always playing like creepiest.
I know he always plays creepy. Like
he could be a good Joker one day.
in that movie, he was like, "You need to turn around and not come back," and it's like, dude, chill.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like, why don't you lighten up there? Sheesh.
Yeah. So this is one of the best ones in the series. I'm not gonna say where exactly, but I like. It's funny. When I first saw it, I thought it was just decent. Like I didn't love it like first time go, but it's like eventually grew on me more and more the more I saw it.
Are we gonna do a ranking after this is all done?
Once we do all of the movies.
Okay.
Like, hey, when we get to every single one. But yeah, I like the casting you guys mentioned. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, they were both great, and in a way, I like their versions of Magneto and Xavier a little bit more than the Stewart and McKellen. Like personally, like you finally get to see like them as friends.
Yeah.
I stop as friends. They get along for the most part, but they just have different ideologies.
Well, that was one of my complaints. I wouldn't really call it a complaint, but when we were talking about the first movies,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, Ian McKellen, he's kind of old, you know. You
Right.
get to see an old Magneto, but I think Michael Fassbender, to me, was like, that's what Magneto is,
Mm-hmm.
like in his prime. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's Magneto.
Right. And you guys mentioned Nicholas Hoult. Like, he's fine. Like, I don't think he's bad or anything, but I just don't feel like his version 100% fits with the Kelsey Grammer's version. Even as the series goes on. And I gotta mention one negative about this movie. I don't like the Beast look in this movie. Personally.
Oh, really?
Nah.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's definitely not on par with Kelsey Grammer.
It gets better as it goes on in series, but this one was it's a little weird looking.
He's not too hairy.
Yeah. But the other, I like the young mutants in this one. That group of friends that they get there. I really like their interactions. You don't see that much with them together, but the little you see with them together, it's good. How they're showing off their powers to each other and they're picking their names. That stuff is fun. That's part of the fun stuff about this one. Where the difference between the other ones, they're more serious tone. This one is a little more light in tone by comparison. And you we're talking about the scenes that stand out. You guys mentioned some of the action scenes and they're all good. But the one scene that stands out to me is part of the training scenes where Xavier teaches Magneto how to control his powers better, and he taps in his memory, and I love that scene. He gets into moving satellite, because Magneto thinks it's too big, you can't move it. No, it's not how big it is.
Wait till you get to the X3 and you move
it's very Star Wars-ish.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But the whole CIA stuff, I like that stuff.
Oliver Platt. Yeah.
He gets killed.
I always forgot about Oliver Platt.
Which, by the way, we can spoil. We're spoiling all these movies, so you could have said what happens to Xavier. He gets shot. Gets paralyzed.
Yeah, but I mean, that scene is kind of important.
I know, but that's part of their friendship. Kind of goes.
It is, yeah, but it's better to experience it because it's to me. I saw it in the theater and I was like, wow, this is crazy emotional and I don't know. It was just done so well. As
much as I like that part and how emotional it is, that's when you get into the continuity stuff, because remember in the opening of X-Men 3, you see them as middle-aged guys, Xavier, and he's walking. He's bald already, but he's walking.
Yeah.
So it's what? He gets paralyzed. In this one, he gets paralyzed first. He still has his hair. And that's the one thing I like about young Magneto. You kind of see him he's kind of like a party hound.
Yeah, he's kind of a character that there's more there's more that they did with him. He's not just this smart, intelligent scientist or something like that. He was actually different.
Yeah.
From what he became.
Yeah, because realistically, people are not the exact same they were from when they were in the 20s to their 60s. They're not the same.
Yeah, people change. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of get to see how he was before he became
I mean, some people watch 30 movies a week and lay on their bed, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that'll change. Who knows? Yeah. So like you mentioned Thomas, you mentioned that you thought McAvoy and Jennifer Lawrence were equal. Like, what do you mean? Like the performances?
No, I mean, like when it comes to like the characters that I like in the movie, like the most.
Okay, yeah, because I also really like
of the newer characters.
Yeah, I also really like their storyline, like how they're kind of like brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that was really that surprised me because I didn't think they're gonna do that with that story, with the characters when they were young. But here's the thing, though, like, so like, you see them meet when they were kids, right? So did Charles just tell his parents, "Hey, this strange little girl, can she live with us?" You know, they don't really explain that. He's like, "You can just live." He just tells her, "You can just live here." You don't have to steal food.
Yeah.
So, and you also see like differences between Charles and Eric's life when they were kids. You see how Eric suffered in the concentration camps. Charles had a good life.
Well, the whole Raven thing, you don't even realize from the original movies that Mystique and Charles were close.
Well, they never talked to each other.
They never talked. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And she almost killed them in the first one.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a curveball. They throw you kind of a curveball with that.
So you're thinking like if they grew up together, like he must have pissed her off.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But like at the end, this one will be like they leave sort of in good terms. It's not like bad terms. She chooses to go with Magneto at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't hate Charles. She's like, no, yeah, well, bye. Thanks for everything. Yeah. But when it comes to the young Mystique portrayal, like this is the best it gets. I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go more into that in the later movies, but Jennifer Lawrence did a good job in this one. Like I liked how she was like unsure about her mutation. She had shame and she was scared. Like I like that portrayal. Like, okay, that makes sense for somebody who's still young and has that kind of mutation. You know, she just wants to be. She just wants to be loved, like for who she is. Like Charles is telling her, like, just hide. You know, make sure no one sees you like that. Hank is like, I like you if you're not blue. You know, and then but Magneto's like, nah, you're beautiful as blue, and then that's where she goes with him. So you also get to see like the beginnings of their relationship too, Magneto and Mystique.
Yep.
Well, I forgot to mention too. What's interesting about this? This is supposed to be like the first team. You know.
Yes.
I kind of wish they would have gone with the original team in the comics, because in the comics, the very first X-Men, there was only 5. There was Cyclops, Beast, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, Angel, and Marvel Girl, which was Jean Grey.
Right.
Those were the 5 original members. And what's interesting about this movie is that they kind of have the suits, the yellow, yellowish suits. Now those were the suits that were worn by the original 5 X-Men that I just named. But I thought that was kind of I don't know if they did that on purpose or if that was just a cool little Easter egg. But yeah, you kind of notice stuff like that. But I kind of wish they would have gone with the original team. But we got a couple characters. I mean,
well, you can't have Iceman. He was in the.
I know. Yeah.
If you still, if these, if you want to look at it as like straight up prequel, which it is.
It is, yeah. I mean, these are the movies. This is different. Obviously.
Why? Because the cameo we haven't mentioned that, like, Wolverine's cameo.
Yeah.
When they're trying to recruit all these mutants.
Yeah.
with the well, also that's another thing. Like I liked how we see how Cerebro was great. We didn't even talk about it that much when we talked about the original trilogy about the Cerebro machine. Like you could see the early stages of this in here, and how they're recruiting all the mutants. And they try to recruit Wolverine. He says, "What did he say again? Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
No, none of you guys are gonna say that.
That seems to be a common thing with him.
It started with this one. Yeah, because like since this was a prequel, like I didn't expect him to show up. The cameo wasn't spoiled for me yet at all. So when I was watching the theaters and he shows up, I'm like, there he is. And then he says, go, and then he drops the F bomb. Like, that's funny.
It's like you can't have an X-Men movie without him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, let's squeeze his cameo in there. Yeah.
I mean, the guy has played like how many years now has he played? Well, I mean, it's crazy.
Almost 25 years.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to replace him would be really stupid because at this point he's had that many years to play the character.
Right. So yeah, but you mentioned the Kevin Bacon's villain. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
special. He was great. The scene where he's trying to convince the young mutants to join him, and the only one that joins him is Angel.
I tell you what, Kevin Bacon doesn't get enough credit. That guy, he is such a good actor. I mean, he's so good.
He is.
I think most people love Kevin Bacon.
They love him, but he doesn't. I think he deserves awards. You know, I think he deserves it because he's just so good. He can do anything. The guy can. He can do comedy. He can do horror, superhero films, or dramas.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And dancing too.
People just think he can just dance like Footloose. Like,
right. I think he's done everything at this point.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh. So yeah, well, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. So I don't know. You guys have any more thoughts of First Class?
No,
not really.
No.
All right. Okay. So.
Okay.
What I wanted to mention was the music. I really like the score in this movie.
And the score was done by who?
Henry Jackman.
Henry Jackman.
Yes. He also did the score for other Matthew Vaughn movies, I guess. But the piece of music that really stands out is Magneto's theme song. That's like badass theme song. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, box office. The movie ended up making $146.4 million domestically and $355.4 worldwide. So, one of the more lower grossing ones at the time.
Yeah.
And it has a 7.7.
Oh, sorry, with the $160 million budget. So I did okay.
It has a 7.7 on IMDb.
So that's really good. Yeah.
And it has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's one of the highest ones.
Yep.
All right. So that was our thoughts on X-Men First Class. All righty. So 3 years later, we ended up getting X-Men Days of Future Past.
That's right.
This time with Bryan Singer coming back to direct.
Yep.
And this storyline is a time travel storyline based on the comic book. Where you get to see the First Class cast, well, some of them, and the original trilogy cast, some of them, back together, or like joining. So you got the future scenes and then the 1970 scenes.
Mm-hmm.
This one. So that was pretty cool to see. I remember being like very hyped for this movie.
This film was hyped. I mean,
yeah. I remember I was like super hyped. This
they
was like
fucking hyped the hell out of this movie.
yeah. I'm pretty sure like this is one like my most anticipated movie of that year.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So
the fact that we get Wolverine, again here, and like he's a main character.
yeah, 2 versions of him.
Yeah.
Future and past. So Rob, what did you think of the X-Men Days of Future Past?
This is one of my favorites.
Same here.
I put this. I don't know where I would put this, but it's definitely, I would say, top 3 for sure. But I have the Rogue cut right here, which has extended scenes, different things. Because Rogue doesn't really, it's not really there. But
none of the actual cut.
Here's the thing. Like so we got some new characters. We got Bishop, which he's always been one of my favorites. Let's see who else is there. I think what was his name? Sunspot. Sunspot. Yeah, Sunspot. He was cool. Like I like the fact that we get to finally see the Sentinels. But here's the thing. Here's one of my major complaints. I don't like the way the Sentinels look in the future, but I do like the way they look in like 1973.
Right.
The way they look in 73 almost looks like you were watching the animated series. But the way they look in the future, I'm kind of like, like they had to use a lot of CG and all that. It looked, I would have preferred just like the robots. You know what I mean? Like the robots that we've come to know. But yeah, they have to, obviously take Mystique's like her genes to kind of make the whole shape-shifting thing for these Sentinels to work, right?
Yeah, that's what they look like that.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but I prefer the other version. But
well, it makes sense, like to use the mutants' powers against them.
It does, yeah, but like I just the look of them, I don't know. Okay. That would be a complaint of mine, but I think the storytelling was great. Going back in time, and then then you have the future, and like you actually get to see X-Men die, right. In the movie. Not that we didn't in X3. I mean, God, right. But yeah, that was pretty cool seeing like this all-out war with the Sentinels and all that stuff. Hang on a second.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't mind the look to the future Sentinels, like personally.
Sorry. Okay, so music's great. The action scenes are great. Characters are great. The return of Wolverine, obviously, he was Hugh Jackman never disappoints. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, this movie's just all out fun. It's a fun freaking movie. And yeah, so what's his name? Trask.
Yeah.
Who creates the Sentinels? Peter Dinklage, perfect person to play that character.
We didn't mention that the Trask character was in X-Men 3, played by a different actor.
That's right. Yes.
Bill Duke.
Yes.
Yeah. So, are they the same person? Are they related or what?
Oh boy.
Continuity. Yeah, that's where you're gonna get more continuity shit. But I don't think But I just wanted to point that out. That was funny.
But yeah, like I don't know. This movie is well rounded. Like I think we get we get both future Xavier and past Xavier, and then future Magneto and past Magneto. It's like all these characters jumbled into one movie. It's crazy how they did it. So yeah, not really too much. Directed by Bryan Singer, obviously. I just think this feels like X-Men to me, and so yeah, I don't know. It's good. If you guys haven't seen the Rogue cut, definitely check it out. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I have that one actually.
Yeah.
I just prefer the theatrical cut, personally. Yeah, Thomas, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Days of Future Past?
I'm with Rob on this one. This is definitely one of my favorites as well of the X-Men films. I would probably say this and First Class are definitely my two favorites of the prequel trilogy. Easily, I think this was such a great follow up, and it was just really cool to see all the characters in here. And like Rob was saying, like you get to see the past and future and the present of all these characters. You know what I mean? You get to see the past in Ian McKellen. You get to see Michael Fassbender. You get to see Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy, and you get to see all the other characters that you can think of. You got Wolverine coming back in here, and you got and I will say some sequences in this that stand out to me the most because it's so interesting when you look at because it's like going back in time, going back to I think 1973 or something.
Yeah, 73.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting when you're looking at things of like 1973, when like Wolverine wakes up in 1973 and he goes to the mansion and he learns that.
No, but I like how he's fighting those monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has no idea what the fuck he did, or he kind of has an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't me.
That
was the past.
But you get to see like how the character of Magneto's character is in prison for assassinating JFK, and you get to see a broken down Charles Xavier who's an alcoholic, and he has to use this thing to help him walk and all that. And you guys didn't mention. I don't know if you guys mentioned him yet, but I don't know if Rob did. But Quicksilver.
Yes. I forgot. Yeah, he has one of the best scenes that they could never really do again. They tried, but they could never really do the same as they did here.
Yeah, when Charles and Wolverine, they recruit Quicksilver, and they were able to break Magneto out of the Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
And another great scene too is when what was it? The character of Hank McCoy, he fights Magneto, and he's trying to kill Raven, and because there's like the plot to assassinate at a Peace Corps or something like that, and
he's trying to kill Trask.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Trask, and then the whole thing with President Nixon with the Sentinel program. And like you said, Rob, too, you mentioned the scene where Magneto retrieves the helmet and takes control of the Sentinel. You mentioned that, right, Rob?
No.
He was mentioning the way the Sentinels looked.
I was going to say, like...
Passing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's talking about.
And it was also really cool, too, like, another one is when they go into Nixon, Trask, and Raven, they go into the White House bunker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of interesting to see, like, because in 1973, all this stuff was taking place. This is, like, I think, around the time...
Richard Nixon.
I'm about to say, because this was around, like... This was around Watergate around this time.
Yes, because there's that tape that he stopped recording or whatever. Right?
Yeah, 1970. Yeah, because it was back in 19. Because like what's kind of funny is like when I always think of Watergate and everything, I think of
Forrest Gump, right?
We didn't start the fire by Billy Joel.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Forrest Gump.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't start the fire by Billy Joel.
Right. Okay.
Because Watergate is mentioned because like it goes in chronological order.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's heard this song. Yeah.
So it's kind of that's how. And also too, I did not know this about Days of Future Past, and I'm just looking it up now. The editor on this film was John Ottman.
Yeah, he also did the score.
Yeah, he did the score. Yeah.
Yeah, John Ottman, the same guy that did Urban Legends Final Cut. Did this.
He came back to do the score because he did the score in X-Men 2.
Yeah, I always keep hearing that John Ottman is mostly known as the composer.
Yeah, mostly, but he does edit movies too.
But I mean, overall, I mean, it was great to see Hugh Jackman in there again. You know, James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart in there, Michael Fassbender, Ian McKellen, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry, and you have Anna Paquin as Rogue, and well, Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde. Although it's
what's with the quotes?
Hey,
What the fuck does this mean?
I wanted
It's really Ellen Page, but
I wanted to
Elliot now.
since you brought that up, I wanted to ask you something. I was going to ask this, but I forgot.
Okay.
What did you think of Kitty Pryde being able to send someone back in time when all her power is to face through walls? I mean, I don't know.
I get it.
Because like all of a sudden she has the power.
Well, it says when you read the biography of it, it says that it enables time travel to happen.
But they established in the movie that it's not time travel. Technically, it's like your subconscious going back like only a couple of weeks, but nobody can survive.
It's kind of like the Flash. The Flash can phase through walls too, but he can also enable time travel. So I guess it's kind of the same thing. But she can't run like him. She's not, a fast runner. If anything, Quicksilver should be able to do it. But I don't know.
That's Wolverine's the one that goes back in time.
And Thomas is right. She was Ellen Page at that time. Okay, so.
But at the time, not.
Yeah, when I say Elliot Page, in case if anyone's really confused, like who the hell is Elliot Page?
Right. Yeah.
I think most people.
I don't know if anybody knows the news that she switched.
Yeah. Right. I mean, she's still listed in the credits as Ellen. So.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like 99 to be I think it's changed.
No, they changed that, but
I know, but like your DVD, Blu-ray.
Right. Yeah. It'll always be the same.
Yeah. You can't update that unless you like.
That's what
unless you use whiteout and you're right. But the actual end credits of the movie, it still says that.
Yeah, when you mark the TV with whiteout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That was it's kind of funny when I think of whiteout. It's kind of an off-topic thing, but speaking of whiteout, when I was in line meeting Harry Manfredini, he was like they were
threw
like
whiteout at you.
Yeah, the guy in front of me was like talking about like him and Harry Manfredini and the guy in front of me were talking about whiteout, and then Harry Manfredini like looked over the guy's shoulder and he looked at me and he was like, which monkeys? I think it was like one of the guys on the Monkeys, like his mom invented whiteout or something. And he was asking me like which member of the Monkeys mom invented whiteout? Do you know? And I had to look it up and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of funny when I think
was it.
I don't know if it was Mickey's mother or
I didn't even know that.
Something like that. I know one of their moms.
Small world.
I know that. But it was kind of funny how Harry Manfredini was like asking me for the guy.
You should have pulled down your pants and said, "I'll give you some whiteout."
It's only gonna take me 5 seconds.
Harry Manfredini's autograph was already cheap.
Just wait 5 seconds.
Harry Manfredini's autograph was already cheap the way it was. He probably would have given it to me for free if I did that.
Right.
But this is, I mean, overall, X-Men: Days of Future Past is another great one, and like you said, like Rob said too, Peter Dinklage was a great perfect casting as Trask. Peter, and it was great to see, and I really like Evan Peters as Quicksilver well before he was an American Horror Story.
Quicksilver.
I like Evan Peters as Quicksilver. I thought
he's great.
The better Quicksilver.
Oh, but not accurate though.
Oh, and
I don't give up.
It was cool to see. And it was cool.
Hold on, are you really gonna tell me? Hold on, are you gonna tell me Aaron Taylor Johnson is as good as an actor as Evan Peters?
What?
Are you really gonna tell me that Aaron Taylor Johnson is as good of an actor as Evan Peters?
I wouldn't say he's a good of an actor, but he was more accurate as Quicksilver.
Well,
Evan Peters, that is.
It's all about
no.
It's all about the performance.
Aaron Taylor Johnson was more accurate as Quicksilver, but
I think
Evan Peters was more entertaining and more. He brought out. I think more people were impressed with him more than. Yeah.
Because he's a better actor.
But and I really like Warpath as well.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that was Boo Boo Stewart. I keep forgetting about him.
What a name!
I know, right? And it was cool to see, Famke Johnson and James Marsden reprising their roles as Jean Grey and Scott Summers. What?
Psycho.
And I also what did you think of the character of what's his name Blink?
Yeah, I liked him.
That's the one where he can create portals to teleport.
Oh, Blink is the one. Yeah, the portal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the portal man.
Yeah.
I should say she.
Yeah. It was she. Yeah, she was the Asian chick, right?
Yeah, there was Bishop, there was Blink, Sunspot, Warpath.
There was Quicksilver
and Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus. Yeah.
And you're talking about the feature team, the one in the future.
And also, I keep forgetting. I forgot to mention as we were talking about X-Men First Class, but I really am a big fan of Nicholas Hoult as Beast. I think he's great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing as Luthor in the new Superman movie.
He was better in this. He looked better.
Yes, I agree.
And I agree with that too. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Of course, there was a bigger budget in this movie, so
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I mean, Days of Future Past says it for itself. I mean, what more can be said about this that hasn't been said before? That there's a reason why this is one of the most highly regarded X-Men films, and rightfully so. I mean,
yeah.
What more can you say about it that hasn't been said before? This is definitely.
Well, I have a lot to say.
Another one of my favorites.
This had like a $200 million budget.
It did, but that's all I got to say about.
I mean, back at that time, that's I mean today that's like whatever, but at that time that 200 million that's
crazy. Today's like whatever. Like
today's like 300 million, 405. Who gives a shit?
Well, 350, right? For Captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Okay. I love this movie. This is a great freaking movie.
Is that sarcasm?
No. I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Being a sarcastic
yeah, deep down, Alex.
No, dude, I love this.
Yeah,
movie.
deep down, you're gonna lose your shit right now. You're gonna say you hate it.
No. I love this movie.
So go ahead, Alex, and Bella.
No, I love this movie, dude. Like this, I mentioned like when we were starting talking about this movie that this was like one of the most hyped movies of that year. Like it was coming out,
and it lived up to all the.
Oh
hype.
yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
I love the way Alex said he's like, oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I just turned Swedish all of a sudden.
Hot clubs turn Swedish.
Yeah, man, I love the storyline where you're gonna fix the wrongs of your past. That was great. What?
The wrongs of your past. Hence the title, Days of Future Past.
Yeah. No, well, I didn't do it. I'm just saying.
I like that.
Yeah. It came out better than anything.
That was clever.
That was pretty. That was pretty damn good.
That was top of my head, you know. Just like,
that was actually pretty damn good.
Okay. Did you say so?
Oh, I mean it.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm just trying to respond to some of the things that you guys have been saying. Rob, you mentioned you didn't really like the look of the future Sentinels. I get why, because they look so weird and different, but they're futuristic, so it's like it makes sense that why they look like that, and how they have Mystique's genes.
It does. No, I'm not disagreeing with you that it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but I just don't care. I just didn't care for the look.
Okay, I don't mind it. Like I wasn't liking it at first before I saw it, and then like when I saw it, what they can do, I was like, okay, I was okay with it, and like I gotta be honest, like dude, like the future Sentinels were kind of scary.
They were scary. Like when they're killing the X-Men and keep coming, I'm like,
yes.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I'm just too much of a '90s fanboy of the show.
That's fine. I mean, they have the more original look in the '70s,
right?
And you do see those in action a little bit too themselves.
You do, yeah. And that's
around
good.
the end.
That's
So that's
all
cool. The cast was so packed.
Yeah, freaking packed. It's like Avengers.
I know, right? So this is kind of like the X-Men version of Avengers.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know a lot of people. This is when a lot of people start disliking Jennifer Lawrence and Mystique, but I thought in this movie she did fine.
She
Yeah, I
was
thought
great
she-
in this movie. I don't understand
She
that
did
at all.
fine. I know because like she became a superstar. All right, at this point, she was already a superstar.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away her performance in this movie. Her performance
agree.
in this movie is great.
I thought she did fine. I didn't think she was like.
People are bitches.
I don't think she was phoning in or anything like that. I
Yeah.
thought she was fine. And dude, but like McAvoy as a young Xavier, he was great in this movie. Like this was his movie. This was Charles Xavier's movie.
Yeah.
I felt like First Class was Magneto's movie. This is more Charles.
Yeah. Oh, for
I
sure.
thought, and I liked how how he has to kind of regain his hope on himself.
And the whole point where Wolverine has to go find him,
Yes.
and he's like down on his luck and everything, and
Yeah, it's like he's not the guy that he knew. Like obviously, 'cause he's like,
that's a really good storytelling. I mean, that's great story.
yeah. I mean, the only way it took him to get things going was like when he talked to himself in the future.
Yep.
You could see McAvoy and Stewart like interact. That was really.
Yeah,
I wish the trailers didn't show that because that would have been a great surprise.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, that's how they market it.
that's a good point.
Yeah, they had to market it, I guess, some way.
Yeah. I think that was the whole like, oh, young cast meets new old cast. That was their way of marketing that. But it would have been a great surprise because it does come as a surprise. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Quicksilver already, so yeah, it's great scene, great sequence.
Yep.
And we've had similar sequences like that in other movies that personally haven't matched it. Whether it be the next movie I'm specifically talking about the Flash. Okay, it hasn't even come close. Personally, in my opinion. Let's see. The action is great. The opening, I mentioned the Sentinels. Like that was it was almost like a horror movie. Like imagine you're in the future and a bunch of these like robots are coming to kill you. Like that's the whole opening is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's like a horror movie. You're right.
Yeah. And like this again, this is I mentioned about Magneto. Like he was like this is what he was trying to tell Charles in First Class how like humanity is gonna want to kill us eventually. Yeah, they say they like us, and even though what they did in First Class, they saved people, but like even in the future, like oh look what happened. They got almost wiped out. So Magneto was right.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention like I had an issue with the.
Well, so what did you think of the Kitty Pryde thing? Like, did you think that was?
You get like that, like okay, since she didn't have that power in X-Men 3, it's like it was one of those things like you have to either go with it, either accept it or you don't.
She phases out and stuff, but I just don't understand how she can phase someone else to go through. I don't know. It's just more complicated. I guess.
I mean, they explain it in the movie, which makes sense, but it's like she didn't have that power before. I know Kitty Pryde is the one that goes back in time in the comic books.
Yeah, she does.
But
Bryan Singer said it wouldn't make sense because of the time period.
Okay, fine, but like also Wolverine's the more popular character.
Actually, I'll quote what he said. If we tried to follow the original comics and use Kitty, we would have a problem because Ellen or Elliot is 25 years old and they'd be 20 in the First Class era. That's what he says.
Okay.
Quotes.
Yeah, I mean the way it's established in this movie, it has to be somebody who actually was living.
Yeah.
I mean they say like, oh, they want Charles to go, but he can't survive.
Right.
It's too long. It's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can survive anything, so I'll go.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna mention an issue I had in the beginning when Wolverine's asking them like, "Well, Magneto, where can I find you?" Like, oh, that's complicated. Like, dude, the world's gonna like your lives are at stake here. don't be vague. Tell him like where you're at in that time. Tell him, oh, I was in
Yeah, no,
dude. Why like that's okay? That's like why would you keep that vague? Like don't keep secrets anymore, dude.
yeah, don't be a smartass.
Because he has to ask young like once he gets there, he has to ask young so where's young Xavier like so where's Eric like yeah he's locked up. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to create tension and stuff like, but like, look, if I told you, Rob, I told you go back in 20 years from now to look for me, I wouldn't tell you like, well, you're gonna have to look for me. I don't know what I was doing. No, I would have to tell you every detail I know.
Especially if you knew, like, you know, the year and all that.
Yes, yeah. I wouldn't keep things from you, like, do it, especially if our lives are at stake.
Yeah.
You know? But it was, but I think I did like how everything they've been through in the first three movies, Magneto and the X-Men, how they just hated each other, how they're finally working together. Like they put all the differences aside, like for real this time. Unlike Nixon too, or like he betrayed them at the end, doing his own thing.
Didn't really care for Colossus in this movie though.
I know it's not.
I still don't. I don't know.
So you didn't care when he got ripped apart?
I mean, that was okay.
No, you're probably thinking like, yes, die, you poser, right?
I don't know. They just didn't. Yeah, Colossus. It's not like he wasn't a main character. I mean,
he got ripped apart.
He should have been more of a character.
They killed him twice in the movie.
I mean, the fact that they show him love in Deadpool is just beyond crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I'll get to the ending and just wrap up my thoughts. But when I wasn't sure how, like, I had an idea how it was gonna end when I first saw it. And then when Wolverine woke up and the mission was completed,
yeah,
when he saw Iceman and Rogue together again, I thought, okay, we're gonna see some of the other mutants from the first three movies. So Kelsey Grammer came back as Beast for like 5 seconds. That was cool.
Yep.
And then you saw Malcolm Jensen as Jean Grey and James Marsden as Cyclops. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw him and he was alive again, I cheered, dude, because like, oh man, like I liked him as Cyclops. I wish he would have done more in the series, but it was cool to see him alive again.
Mm-hmm.
Even Wolverine was good. Was happy to see him. That was great. Here's the thing though. I know there's more movies after this, but in a way, this was kind of the perfect ending.
It ended really good, yeah.
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 Because, I mean, they stopped a major catastrophe.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't know how you... That's like... Yeah, it feels like a finale to the entire series. Because everything's good now. It's like, okay...
It's like the Sentinels are the perfect, like... They're the perfect bad guy scenario to have. Instead of, like, some big guy like Thanos wiping everybody out. Like, the Sentinels are just... They're just ongoing. Like, they're so hard to defeat, and I think it's just scary thinking about it. It's like Terminator. It's like a bunch of Terminators coming at you.
What did you guys think of Magneto saying that JFK was a mutant? I didn't see that coming. He didn't kill him. He tried to save him.
That was a surprise.
I'll tell you. I want to tell you my favorite scene. My favorite scene is when the bullet is going into Mystique's leg, when he controls the bullet and it goes like this.
No.
Like, that freaking scene is awesome. How he does that.
Yeah.
That actually surprised me. I was like, "Whoa, he's trying to kill her."
I know, but the way that bullet, like, just the way he controlled it was just really cool.
That's another thing. Like, old Magneto should have told Wolverine, like, "Hey, in the past, like how I was young, I probably gonna double cross you guys, so look out for that." You know, because when he grabbed the gun, I was like, "Son of a bitch, Magneto."
Yeah.
Not now. I know he had his reasons, like, "Well, I'm trying to save everybody."
Now, do you think and so in this movie he moves the stadium?
Yes.
So that was pretty big. I mean, you think about it, that was a lot.
And he got his helmet back.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a little different in this one though.
Plus, he was in his prime, so I can see him moving big objects. But I still give him credit for moving that bridge in X3 as old as he is, and
That was his final hurrah.
final hurrah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this I could go on and on with this movie, but I thought it was great. Oh, but here's the thing. Okay, Wolverine. I do want to bring this up. Wolverine in all the movies, he can never touch Magneto. Magneto's always throwing him around because he's made adamantium, right?
Yeah.
And this one, when he goes in the past, he doesn't have his adamantium yet, right? He has his bone claws.
Right.
That's a funny scene when they're going through the metal detector and it doesn't ring on him. He's like, finally, he has that reaction like,
Yeah.
I used to.
That was good.
No problem. But when he's about to attack Magneto, I thought, oh, we're finally gonna get to see him fight. No, Magneto still owns him. Like that's the closest he's ever gotten to actually getting to Magneto.
Yeah.
But Magneto got the upper hand. One thing though, one little nitpick about that sequence when he throws him across into the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy scene how he's jamming those iron
rods, yeah.
Yeah, in him.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I wished they would have done in that scene was have Wolverine tell him, "No, Magneto, you idiot, you're gonna kill us all." Because like, if we don't show these people that we're good, we're never gonna have a peaceful future. Like he's making it worse, and that's where you get the transition from like you see young Magneto attacking the White House, bring the big stadium, and then in the future you see Magneto helping and destroying the Sentinels. I thought that was great. You see the two differences. And in that scene, the emotional scene where old Magneto is talking to old Xavier, like, all that fighting, all those years. I wish we would get some of them back. They have that final moment together. That was sad. Like they wasted their lives fighting. Like, hey, for what? We're gonna both be killed by the Sentinels.
Yeah.
But Mystique dropped the gun on time, so it's all good. I mean, did you guys find that believable that like they would like not hate mutants anymore just because Mystique shot Magneto in the neck? I know Magneto was trying to kill them, but I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
What do I think about what? About her shooting him?
Like, no, did you find it believable that they wouldn't hate mutants anymore just because Mystique shot Magneto in the neck? I know he was trying to kill them, but like,
well, it's all about what they're seeing at the moment.
I know
I think yeah, I'd believe it if I was one of those people.
She did point the gun at them though.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what Magneto was doing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it still worked. I'm just saying, like, if you found that believable or not.
I mean, yeah, I yes and no, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's like that's why after she dropped the gun, Nixon looks at Trask like, the one you're trying to capture, her, she wasn't. She just saved their lives. So I mean, I think that's what.
Yeah.
That's what they're coming across from.
We're gonna watch.
So yeah. So those are my overall thoughts on Days of Future Past. I know I got on long, but I love this movie.
Well, it's an important movie, I think, in the series.
Oh yeah,
Easily.
I mean, if you ask anybody, like, I'll bet like that movie is like in their top, at least in their top 3, maybe 5. But
most people.
All
right. Any other thoughts on Days of Future Past?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay. All right. So the movie ended up making $233 million domestically and $747 worldwide. So now it's the highest grossing action. When I say action movie, I mean with the X-Men title.
And I think this might be the highest rated X-Men film as well.
Also, we had 200 million domestic, so it did get its money back.
It has a 7.9 on IMDb
Mhm.
and it has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So there you go. So that was X-Men: Days of Future Past. So continue on. 2 years later, in 2016, we got X-Men Apocalypse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also directed by Brian Singer.
Yep.
This is just straight up a prequel. Like I don't even at this point I don't even know what you want to call it a prequel because after Days of Future Past it reset the timeline, so that it's sort of a reboot, like a new series now at this point.
Yeah.
All that. Okay, so I guess I'll go first in this one. A lot of people don't like this movie. I can see why. It has its flaws,
It does.
but I still enjoy it for the most part. It's not one of the best in the series, but I think it's still good for what it's worth. I know the biggest issue people have is Apocalypse. I thought he was fine. He wasn't great, but I thought Oscar Isaac did a good performance as that character.
Oscar Isaac is naturally a good actor.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I remember people were comparing the look of Apocalypse to
Ivan Ooze.
I don't see it, dude.
I see it. I see it only when he didn't have the suit. Like when he was bald and laying on the thing, and like then his. I kind of look like it looks like that a little bit, but not when he has a suit.
No, like the only time it even looked like that was the scene where Psylocke has her sword on him, and it's obviously like the purple.
Yeah, it's the purple. Yeah.
Yeah, that made him look a little bit. I mean,
I think that's what people are talking about.
No, that's the only. But that's the one scene. It's only for
Oh.
like 10 seconds. That's the only time it made me think. Other than that, no. Like, actually, it made me think of more like Wishmaster, to be honest. Especially when he's wearing that hoodie when he meets Young Storm.
Oh well, yeah, he looks just like the Wishmaster in the beginning when he first shows up. Yeah,
and then when he kills those guys, like
Yeah.
that's very Wishmastery.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's your word. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of more than fucking Ivy News. But most of the cast are good. There is a couple of performances that they're not that good. First and foremost, this is like the beginning of Jennifer Lawrence not caring because I don't think she cared.
I think by this time she gave zero fucks. Like
By this time, yeah, it's
This
kind of
one,
like this is the movie I think where it goes downhill. I don't
was there
think
a reason
David-
why she was given zero fucks, or just
Well, she wanted to get out of the franchise.
Well, the thing is too. You'll notice she's hardly in Mystique makeup
Right.
from this point. She's Jennifer Lawrence basically, or Raven. She's basically the
human version.
the human version.
Katniss.
But I think this is the movie instead of Days of Future Past. I think this is the movie where it's slide from here,
Right.
with her.
Yes. Because like she was all about like trying to avenge the mutants that got killed in Days of Future Past.
Right.
And here she's like, oh well, I don't want people to see me in my blue form. Well, I thought you were over that.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? Get over it. You're blue. La da dee da 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 la.
Yeah, I agree. Wishmaster. Yeah, that's one performance that I didn't.
Hey,
Really,
19 Ray Rod 79.
Yeah. Also, I didn't really like Sophie Turner as Jean Grey in this one.
In this one, not really.
Nah,
No.
she was not very good.
Nah.
No, she was not.
Yeah. So, That's the one thing. I don't know if there's other performances you guys didn't like.
I'll tell you one I really liked, who I thought they captured perfectly, was Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
He's fine.
she was perfect for that casting because she looks just like her. And
but the story, the story was good, but it wasn't as good as First Class and Days of Future Past.
the story was, to me, it's like the story was kind of like Apocalypse kind of felt like Thanos to me.
It was more basic by comparison.
Like, yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this to the world and cleanse it and blah blah blah.
Right, the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
Of the apocalypse. You got that from the Bible. Well, maybe the Bible got it from him. I remember when that trailer came out, and I remember Rob reacting to it. I remember he hated that line. The Bible line. It is a little corny.
It's a little corny to me.
Here's the thing, though. It didn't come off as corny in the trailer. It did come off as corny in the actual movie.
Yeah.
Because the way they should deliver that line,
the way they responded to it too. It's kind of like they didn't give two shits.
Yeah, because like in the movie, she's like, "Oh, maybe the Bible got it from him," like that. Like that's not how you said it. That's not how you said it. That's not how she said it in the trailer. In the trailer, she's like, "Maybe like a little more dramatic. Well, maybe the Bible got it from him."
I mean, let's be concerned here.
I know. Yeah. That's how Moira Taggart again coming back. And she looks exactly the same, even though it's 20 years later. This is in the 80s now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it's okay. I think this is where that criticism starts coming into play a little bit more. Like, okay, these prequel movies are a decade one after another. Yeah, they did barely even age.
No,
it's like you don't have to make them a decade later. I mean, that's part of the gimmick now in these ones, but I don't know. I know originally Days of Future Past was supposed to be a straight up sequel to First Class, where it's going to take place still in the 60s, so you won't have that problem. But like, I guess maybe Bryan Singer's idea to just change the decade every time. So now everybody looks in there in the 80s. I wish they would have captured more of the 80s stuff in this one, because I don't think they did enough. I mean, it's there, but you had that mall scene that got unfortunately got cut in the movie. I mean, I kind of wish they would have kept that in there, because that's really get the 80s vibe in that scene, in the deleted scene, I should say. I will say, like, the best part of the movie was the Magneto storyline.
For me, yes, that was the highlight. The Magneto storyline, and I also like the Wolverine cameo, because that by that time I was just waiting for something to happen as far as like action wise. But dude,
right?
He really fucking man.
Oh, that scene's gory.
Just that one scene was crazy. I remember seeing the theater. I'm like, holy shit! Like when he started taking all those guys out as Weapon X, mind you, which was awesome.
That's I remember. Like, I find it weird that he didn't say anything.
Well, I mean, he didn't really know them, so.
Oh, I didn't mention in Days of Future Past, it was Charles Xavier that said the F word.
All right.
He tells Wolverine to fuck off. And that's why Magneto says it. When he sees the pocket, like, who the fuck are you?
Magneto's storyline really hits hard. I mean, it really does.
Because when you finally see him again in the movie, and he goes to his house, and you see he has a wife and a daughter, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, immediately I know they're gonna die.
That's what
they're gonna look. Yeah. I know, I like it, but I'm saying, like, when I first saw them, I'm like, they're gonna die. Fuck, they're gonna die. I knew it. I knew where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because poor Magneto can never catch a break.
What did you see? This is something I didn't like. What did you think of Storm being kind of bad, like Storm being controlled by Apocalypse?
Well, here's the thing that confused me about that. Is he controlling them, or he just convinced them to join? Yeah.
he's kind of convincing them because if you remember Angel,
He changes
he gave Angel new wings.
Yes.
That's all he did.
Yes.
I think it's more convincing because he's telling them like what's going on with the world and what he plans to do and what they need to do. So he's kind of like, in a way, he is controlling them, but he's more convincing, I think.
I can see why he convinced the other three, but Storm, she seemed like a good person. She's like, you can't just go around killing people.
That's what I mean, and like,
and then like she's joining them, she's evil, and then at the end she changes her mind.
Yeah,
because like she looked up to Mystique. That's one thing I didn't really like. Like I didn't like how they have Mystique. She's like a hero to everybody.
I can see how he's controlling, how he has Magneto on his side. I get that because Magneto's he's all effed up in the head now because of what happened to his family and all that.
Yeah.
But like, Storm, I don't buy it. I didn't buy it at all. And Psylocke is just there as like an assassin. So
and Angel was like, okay, he's kind of a drunk. So
yeah,
I guess it was easy against me. Yeah, but we barely even know him, so I guess he was bad from the beginning.
Well, I mean, Angel was one of the first X-Men.
Archangel.
They changed that, so
it's Archangel. This one.
Yeah.
He was not the other Angel. And then, did you like the other young character? Did you like the young Nightcrawler and?
Oh yeah, Nightcrawler. I liked Nightcrawler.
Okay.
I thought Nightcrawler was good.
And what about young Cyclops?
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
I mean, he was all right, I guess. You have him and his brother Havoc.
Yes.
Played by the same kid who played him in
First Class.
So
yeah, he was also in DC Future Past. He was in the Vietnam.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that was cool to see him. Yeah, I thought they were good. Yeah, I didn't care for Sophie Turner though.
Not in this one.
She's kind of a ditz in this one. Like she's just, I don't know. Like,
she just wouldn't.
What about Jubilee?
She's there.
Lena Condor played Jubilee.
We don't even see her using her powers.
No, but no.
Man, I thought Jubilee wasn't.
At least she was wearing her yellow jacket.
Yeah. But she's not even in the next one, so I don't know what the point was having her in here.
Just to show that she's there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Jubilee, yay!
I never really was a fan of her anyway, even in the cartoon or the comics.
Right.
Her powers are pretty stupid. It's like, oh look, 4th of July. Who needs to buy fireworks? Just call Jubilee over. She can make some fireworks for you.
Right.
Like shit.
She's more tolerable in the new X-Men '97 show.
Oh yeah.
She's a little more mature, so.
Right.
Yeah, but I agree. I was never like a big fan of her. Like, whatever, firework lady, firework girl.
She was annoying in this movie compared to first go. Who is
she? I think he means Mystique.
Oh.
I think he probably means.
Yeah, well, like we were saying, like this is the kind of the decline of that character. Because I think she. Think about how important she was in Days of Future Past. It's like here, it's like.
And in Days of Future Past, I felt like she was that was the closest she got to being the Rebecca Romijn version because she was sneaking around. She was
important though. She was actually important to the story. Jennifer, this was it. This was it. Look on the cover. I mean, you're showing it right there. Jennifer Lawrence. She's not Mystique, but Days of Future Past. There she is as Mystique, right?
Yeah.
She's just Jennifer Lawrence. That's all she is in this movie. It's like she fucking gave up or something.
Yeah, because even though the scene where they're in the jet and they're talking and she's giving the kind of like
that speech.
It's a good speech. I just wish she would have given a better performance than that.
But you can just tell she was sleepwalking by this
kind of, yeah.
She probably feels at this point in her career that doing these movies is just she knows it's not going to really amount to much.
Yeah, she was already an Oscar winner. She was already an Oscar winner by then.
Yeah, I mean, she won the Oscar for Silver Linings Playbook.
I mean, she knows she's not going to win an Oscar for this, but the Days of Future Past made a ton of money, so
It did.
And she was she was obligated by contract to be in this one too.
yeah.
So she tried to get out of it, but she couldn't. So and she was doing other stuff.
Well, I from what I hear, it's very, very tedious when she has to sit and put makeup on. It's like what, like over 4 hours for them to put the makeup on her.
Right.
So maybe that kind of. I mean, I could kind of see that too, kind of getting tired of doing that shit. But
Rebecca Romaine never complained.
yeah, she never did.
No, she never did. Is right.
So I don't know.
She did what? 3 movies, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she had a cameo. I forgot to mention that she had that cameo
that's
in First
right,
Class.
That's right.
Another cameo I liked. But yeah. This is the shit on Jennifer Lawrence movie. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if we know she can act. She's done good performances in other stuff.
I feel like though, like lately though, when it comes to Jennifer Lawrence, like you hardly ever hear of her anymore.
Well, she was in
Still
the
around.
last movie I saw her in was actually pretty funny. That comedy called No Hard Feelings, I think that's what it's called. That was actually.
I feel like none of them have like reached like superstardom. Like as she
she don't have any like Oscar-winning performances.
Yeah, like her like when she started doing things like Joy and what was that one she did with Chris Pratt? Passengers.
Right. Yeah.
There's like Red Sparrow and
Red Sparrow. That was that underperformed. I think Passengers was a flop.
Yeah.
Joy. I think Joy was a flop. I think.
Yeah.
Mother. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, more like motherfucker is right.
I still never seen that movie.
Good for you.
It's very
Yeah, I don't need to see it. I don't care. But yeah. Okay, here's one thing I'll talk about, and then I'll let you guys talk more about the movie. But okay, the Quicksilver thing I like because he's still enjoyable in this movie. And the whole sequence when he's saving everybody, I liked. The problem with his role in the movie, his whole thing is he's trying to look for Magneto because he knows he's his dad. They teased that in Days of Future Past, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
He's looking for him, and he wants to tell him that he's his son.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
I fucking yelled at the screen when that happened. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
See, when I first saw the movie, I was like, okay, fine, but you need to bring it up in the next one. They don't. Spoiler alert, they don't.
Exactly.
So this whole thing was pointless.
Exactly.
So that I don't like
Magneto was doing what he was doing. He had a chance right there.
Right. I don't know what. Because he says at the end of the movie, like, oh, Storm's like, you're gonna tell him, like, yeah, someday. Never.
We've got another person in here, Roman Reigns.
Oh, the Roman Reigns?
Oh, how's it going, Roman?
WWE superstar Roman Reigns? Cool. It's an honor.
How you doing, buddy?
Honor, sir. How's Paul Heyman doing? All right. So, yeah. But, yeah, it sounds like we're shitting on the movie, but like, no, it has its flaws, but I personally still enjoy it. It's not one of the best ones. It's not, but I can still watch it and enjoy the movie despite its flaws. So go ahead. Go ahead, guys. If you have any more things to say, negative or positive.
Well, it had a lower budget than Days of Future Past.
You can see it too.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
John Ottman did the music again.
Yeah, I still like the score in this one too.
I just want to say that I don't care for Apocalypse. I think he was done. The way he was done, I just think it was. It to me, it almost seems like he had the powers that I just didn't understand. Compared to like maybe the comics or how he's supposed to be. Nothing against Oscar Isaac. I think he's great as an actor, but I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't feel when I look at him in this movie. I don't feel intimidated. I don't feel like there's trouble coming. I don't, that's with Thanos. I thought that every time I saw him, but this guy, yeah, I don't know. I think he should have been bigger. I think he should have been more intimidating. Make us feel scared.
I mean, you have that scene at the end when he becomes big.
Okay, that's that what happens in a few seconds there, but I don't know. I just didn't really care for him. But as far as like some of the other characters, I've already told you. Like, I did like Psylocke. I did like Nightcrawler. I did like the Wolverine scene, the Magneto scene. Everyone else gave, their all. I guess their performances, except for Jennifer Lawrence, obviously.
Yeah.
Quicksilver scene was a little underwhelming because of the fact that they tried to do again what they did in Days of Future Past. I just don't think it hit that. It wasn't as funny and it wasn't as entertaining as that one. But I'm not saying it was a lost cause. I mean, it's still,
Is it because it went on longer?
No, it's just it's like they tried to do the same thing. It's like, to me, it's like we've already seen it, even though it's a different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't see
Did you notice that Magneto? Did you notice like his suit is more like red? Like he's got like the red.
Yeah.
Like the reddish looking. It looks more. I don't know. It looks more. Maybe it's orange. I don't know.
Well, that's because Apocalypse created it. You see him create the helmet too, so it's a different helmet.
Right. So like it looks actually more like Magneto in a way. I don't know. I think the effects were okay in the movie. I don't know. It's just this movie. If I had to put a word on it, I would say it's just okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's shitty. I wouldn't say it's terrible. I would say it's just okay, and I would definitely say someone who hasn't seen it, I'd say, yeah, just give it a watch,
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, Thomas.
Yeah, this was the probably the first big fuck up in the X-Men franchise.
Oh, he's a fuck up. The first one?
I mean, Last Stand was wishy-washy.
Oh, yeah, are you saying Last Stand is better than this?
What's that?
Yes.
Is Last Stand better than this? Yes.
I would say yes.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I do not agree with that.
Really?
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
I agree with Rob, though. I really like Psylocke. I like Nightcrawler. And I like a lot. I mean, it's you got James McAvoy still in there, things like that. But like I said, like the most glaring thing of all the characters was the zombie like performance of Jennifer Lawrence not giving a fuck anymore. Because by this time, this was 2016, I believe.
Yes.
I'm about to say, well, then you figure by this point, 2016. I think Passengers might have been 2015, and that was a flop. So it wasn't like she really had like anything really to remain around this time. So I don't really know why she was.
She was still doing Hunger Games. Oh, I think that was over by then. I'm not sure.
I think that might have been over by then too. I think wasn't Hunger Games over by like 2014,
2014, 2015, yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Are you talking about the sequels?
The final movie. When was that? 2015.
Or is it 14?
It's one of those years. So it's like around this time.
It was around it, yeah.
But definitely the weakest character in the whole film is Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. You can just definitely tell she didn't give a shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
19 Ray Rod said, Last Stand is a masterpiece compared to this one. Don't get me wrong, I like this one, but not as much as the others, he said.
Okay.
I will agree with that. Last Stand is a masterpiece compared to this. I mean, and like Rob said too, like I think Oscar Isaac is a very solid, capable actor. He is, and nothing against him as Apocalypse. I just think the way that they made Apocalypse was very underwhelming. That's the best way to describe it. Very underwhelming. I think everything could have been done a lot better. And like I said, and like Rob said, this was much more of a lower budget than the previous films. You can definitely tell on screen as well. And not really too many scenes really stood out to me compared to because when I was talking about Days of Future Past or First Class, I was talking about all these scenes that I can think of, because that's how much I really enjoy those films. But when it came to Apocalypse, I couldn't really even tell you something that really stood out to me the most, because I think this was just sort of a film that was just, you kind of put your hands up and go, okay, okay, every single time it's okay, okay, you kind of had that reaction while watching the film. And even though I did like some of the newer characters, like I said before, but it's not really enough to save it for me personally. And I think I can easily say this is probably one of Bryan Singer's weakest movies in his filmography. It's definitely one of his weakest in his filmography as a director. But yeah, overall, I mean, I can straight up say I didn't really care that much for Apocalypse, just like Rob. I just strictly just stood up, didn't care for it too much. I think it might have been one of my least favorite films of 2016. I think.
Wow, really?
I can't remember. I even did a list for 2016, but it might have been, or I might have put that. I might have put it at maybe just all right, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like going on The Last Stand, I used to talk bad about The Last Stand, but The Last Stand has more things I think that are positive about it, and more things that are emotional. I didn't feel I honestly didn't feel any emotions in this other than the Magneto scene. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or when how about when he turns good again?
When Magneto turns,
yeah.
I mean, the way they did it was fine, but I still think his family dying and all that stuff, that was really hard to watch, especially the little girl.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Stupid guy with the arrow. He let it go.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I did not care much for Apocalypse. That's
I mean, I saw all these in the theater, and it's like my reaction coming out of Apocalypse was the same reaction that I got after I started watching the movie at home. It's I know, I just feel the same way every time. I don't find Apocalypse intimidating. I don't think. I mean, I find the Sentinels in Days of Future Past more intimidating.
Okay, you Thomas, you said you can't really think of a scene that stood out. What about the scene where Apocalypse invades Cerebro? You didn't like that scene?
It just didn't really stand out to me as much as the other ones.
Really? Okay.
Oh, that scene was interesting.
Yeah.
It didn't stand out to me as much as anything else in First Class.
He's controlling the whole damn world.
But that's the thing; he's controlling the whole world. But yet, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's at that point. He's more powerful than Thanos. But I didn't think that though. I mean,
you just didn't feel it.
Yeah, you don't feel. At least to me, I don't feel his presence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Okay. No, a lot of people agree with that.
I mean, not that he looks like Ivan Ooze, and I don't really care for that argument. I just don't think he's. I don't think he's just intimidating.
Only the one. I tell you, the one scene when Sarlacc has her purple sword shining on his face, it kind of does look like Ivan Ooze because of the purple. That's it.
Just throw it in their faces.
Yeah.
Oh, Power Rangers! That'd be a fun.
I was telling you, Rob, earlier this week that for out of nowhere, I just started getting nostalgia for Power Ranger music. Start listening to it out of nowhere.
That'd be a long, fun stream talking about Power Rangers the movie. Oh God.
Yeah. But any other thoughts, Thomas, on X-Men Apocalypse?
Nah, that's all I got about for that one.
So Thomas hates it. He hates the movie.
I think it's just okay.
I think it's decent, but it's not great. That's fine. All right. Okay. No more thoughts on anybody on X-Men Apocalypse?
Nah.
Nope.
No? Okay. All right. Box office. It ended up making 155 million domestically and 542
500.
million
Yep.
worldwide with a 178 million budget. So lower than previous past.
Still made money.
Still made money, but you can see the decline there.
And it has a 6.9 on IMDb and a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, 47%. Rotten.
We'll see after I'm done.
Rotten. I remember the reviews came out like 2 weeks before the movie came out, and I was shocked that it got bad reviews. I'm like, wow, really?
And I one last thing before we go on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that Ben Hardy played as the Archangel in the X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
He would later be Roger Taylor in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I always keep forgetting that.
Yeah. It was in Bohemian Rhapsody. All right, so next up we got Dark Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
or if you just want to call it X-Men Dark Phoenix, but it was marketed as just Dark Phoenix with the X logo.
Yeah.
At the end
Yeah.
there. This one came out in 2019, so
Yeah.
3
Nice.
years. Yeah, 3 years later. Even though it kept getting. I remember this is around the time where like some of these movies were getting like this one was getting delayed because of this one Disney bought Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who will start this one?
No matter. You're gonna be surprised what I have to say. Maybe. I don't know.
All right, Thomas, go ahead.
This is another one where I kind of felt the same way about Dark Phoenix. I think this is kind of just sort of okay. I mean, it's on the lower level.
The same way you felt about Apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like I hated Apocalypse. Like when I didn't really, I wasn't like raging like I hate Apocalypse. I just kind of like looked at it like it was just kind of there.
Okay.
Same thing with Dark Phoenix. I mean, and didn't this film like have a couple like problems like with reshoots and
Yes.
I better say didn't they like reshoot some stuff and that's
They
why
shot the entire third act.
yeah, that's what and you can definitely tell that it would have been it would have been kind of interesting to see like what the original third act would have been, and this is actually directed by Simon Kinberg, who I think wrote didn't he? Yeah, he was a producer for most of the X-Men movies.
He wrote X-Men 3.
This movie was supposed to be the return of Emma Frost and the Hellfire Club. That was the original concept of it.
Right.
And I'd tell you, Simon Kinberg is not a very good director. I'm sorry. He has a couple. I mean, he did. I mean, a lot of his films on here suck. I mean, looking at his filmography right now. Triple X State of the Union. I thought that's that's a writer. Never mind, that's a writer. I'm looking at.
He's mostly a writer, though.
I think I don't know his other films, but I thought he did fine on this one.
I mean, he directed. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the films that he wrote, I mean, sucked. I mean, Triple X State of the Union, Jumper, and This Means War, and Fan Four Stick 2015.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The 355, which no one ever fucking remembers that bullshit. I just think
he also wrote X-Men 3 and Apocalypse, right?
Well, do you know why it was that allegation for Bryan Singer saying that there were sexual abuse going on, and
but the thing is he wasn't even going to return to direct.
Yeah.
He was going to produce, but they even took his name out of production.
Yeah.
Studio.
I don't even know what came out of that. Did they even have something come out of that, or was it all?
Well, he ain't directing.
No, but I mean, did he actually get charged with sexual abuse?
No.
I don't. Yeah.
There's no court
so.
case, nothing. No,
Yeah.
as of now, no.
Yeah.
That
sucks.
I forgot.
He got fired.
I forgot to mention too. In Apocalypse, I agree with Rob on this one, and the same thing with Dark Phoenix. I did not care for. I don't care for Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. I'm sorry.
Well, that's yeah. You have to wait till I.
I mean,
go ahead.
still to me, I mean, there's only one Jean Grey, and that's Bonke Johnson. That's all I can say right there. I mean, and I want your guys' opinion on this. What did you think of Jessica Chastain as a Vuk?
I thought she was fine.
She's okay.
I thought she was all right.
I like her as an actress. But
I do too.
This is not one of her better performances, but she wasn't like bad. She's supposed to be emotionless anyway because she's an alien. No humanity, whatever.
Right.
They all talk like that. All the alien creatures.
And I not only do I like Jessica Chastain as an actress, but I also really like her as a person. Like whenever you see like interviews or you see like the way she interacts with people and everything, you can just tell like I like her personality a lot.
Yeah.
She seems like a very sweet lady.
She's been better in other movies.
Yeah,
yeah, of course.
She has done better in movies, and she's also been in better movies in general.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
that's it.
Because I like her. I like Jessica Chastain a lot.
I do too. Yeah.
I mean, I would even say. I really like.
She played a better villain in. Damn it! What was that movie?
Oh, Snow White.
No, not that one. With damn it! I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, you mean Molly's Game?
No, not that one. That's not what I'm thinking about. Go ahead. Keep going and I'll look it up.
But I mean, I would say like probably I say the most decent thing about just Phoenix is Jessica Chastain. I do like her. She was pretty decent. But like I mean, and
okay. I know Crimson Peak. That's one.
Crimson Peak. Okay.
Yeah, she played a better villain than that.
Oh, absolutely. There's no debate about that whatsoever.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, it's still cool to have James McAvoy in there. They still are doing their best job that they can with what they're given. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence. Sorry, no. She sucked in this. She sucked balls in this too.
This is the movie where
this is really where you can.
This is the movie where there was a lot of controversy on like people were automatically just noticing it in this movie with her.
Oh yeah. Like you can slightly notice it a little bit in Apocalypse, but here though you can full on tell she had a no shit given attitude.
Like if you watch people's review on this movie, the whole review is almost about Jennifer Lawrence. Like it's crazy.
That's because it's like a thing that stands out the most in in all this. I mean, and you can really tell
she's only in the first act.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. She's not even there that much
because she dies. She dies.
And yet she's still a glaring hole when it comes to this because of how much little of the shit she gave. And not only that, but what also didn't help Dark Phoenix around this time as well was because this came out in 2019, give or take. Yes. You know what I mean? And
what else did come out in 2019?
Well, in 2019, you had
Endgame.
You had Endgame.
Oh, that little movie?
I mean, like around this time in general, like the last year or two, around 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
You had things like Black Panther. You had Deadpool 2. You had Endgame and Infinity War, and
the competition was just unreal.
Like, oh yeah, like there was just no shot in hell that Dark Phoenix was ever going to compete with those kind of movies.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and it didn't.
It did.
Spoiler alert.
That's why I kind of feel bad because
I feel bad too, but shit. You know?
I mean, and I will admit though, when I first watched Dark Phoenix, it was a little weird not having Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because of the events of Logan.
Yeah, this like there's no cameo, no nothing
Oh yeah, there's like nothing. So it was kind of strange, like watching a X-Men film for the first time without a Wolverine character involved in it in any shape or form, whether it be cameo or a flashback or whatever. I mean,
Right.
it was just odd to see like, wow, there's no Wolverine in an X-Men film. That just seems like very, very strange.
I was actually okay with that because I we've gotten him throughout the movies, all the movies, and I kind of feel like it was a fresh take on like you know can this movie survive without showing Wolverine at least once? And I know that a lot of people it doesn't, but um, I'm
So
actually
you,
glad they concentrated on the characters for once and not like have to bring Wolverine in. You know what I mean? I'm not complaining about Apocalypse at all. Like when he showed up, that was really cool. But
No, I get that. Um, I just think, I mean, I wouldn't really say like it's kind of like with Apocalypse. Like I can't really say I really despise. I mean, because I'm not like when it comes to like X-Men and all that stuff, I'm not like the most like diehard fan of X-Men. I do enjoy the franchise. Don't get me wrong, but I was always more into Batman, Superman. I was more like enticed with those characters more than I would say with these.
oh yeah, I was more of a Batman fan. No
But
doubt.
I mean, so when I look at like maybe of like people who really like were really delved into like comic books with the X-Men characters, like would probably have a lot more juice to say and more rage if there was something wrong with more of these with when you look at something like this. But
right.
when I look at Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, I kind of look at them just like it was like Apocalypse where you kind of put your hands up and just go, okay, it's just kind of there.
I mean, I remember even like before the movie came out, people were like, "Oh, okay." Like nobody was really excited this one.
Well, because of how underwhelming Apocalypse was.
Also, because like I think they trying to move on from the franchise.
And I mean, when I look back on it now, it's like you really when I look at like it was just kind of like with Apocalypse where I can't really think of anything that really stood out to me the most when it came to Dark Phoenix. Like I can't think of any like action sequences that stuck out. Very nice Joker card right there, my friend. A truce.
Don't reference that piece of shit. No,
that one scene was better than this fucking piece of
shit. Sure, buddy. Sure. Keep telling yourself that.
But
anyway, yeah. Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix didn't really care. Like I said, I didn't care for this either. I do like McAvoy. Don't get me wrong. I like Fassbender. I do like, but I like I said, I don't like Sophie Turner. Jennifer Lawrence really was showing it in this film. It wasn't Jennifer Lawrence playing her. It was her corpse playing it. Basically, it was a dead body. Basically, it had no emotion whatsoever. And just like, and it kind of reminded me also too, like when I heard about like how the third act was changed and all the reshoots and everything. I just got like really bad deja vu thinking of the Fantastic Four from 2015. How
it wasn't it wasn't that bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't as bad compared.
It wasn't as bad.
Like that, like this wasn't as bad as what Fantastic Four was. Don't get me wrong, but like when you just hear about how much stuff was changed and it probably wasn't for the best. But I don't know what the third act would have been that was changed.
All I know that it was gonna be more cosmic. That's all I know. That's what
it is a little cosmic, but yeah, it was supposed to be more cosmic.
More than that. That's the only thing I know. I don't really know how the sequences are going to turn out.
Yeah, I don't really know how
it was different
to play out, but
yeah,
Dark Phoenix didn't. I couldn't say I really cared for the film overall. I mean, it's like Apocalypse, where I just kind of just like whatever.
Release the Simon Kinberg cut.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
release the Josh Trank cut of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but after the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad first.
Did they ever release that or no?
No, they never. No, they're never gonna release that.
Fuck that movie.
They're gonna say, "Hey, it's not a bad movie."
I kind of want to see what David Ayer would have done if that was more darker though.
But yeah, we ain't gonna see any cuts like that. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on Dark Phoenix.
Okay, I'll let Rob go next because he seems like he wants to be more positive on this movie. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Dude, I actually really like this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Ooh,
So here's kind of
positivity, baby.
no. Here's kind of the story.
Okay,
So I was like you got like I was like ready for this to be over. Like I'm like, you
because we
know,
knew it was gonna be over.
right. And I'm like, you know, I don't really have any expectations. So Dan and I went to go to the theater, and we were like there with like maybe 6 other people,
Yeah,
and because this movie was a flop, it
yeah,
only made like 200 million. That was about the budget,
yeah.
and
It only made like 50 some million more than what its budget was.
so we went to the theater, and throughout the movie, Dan was like, "What?" He's like, "This is not." He's like, "This is not bad at all. Like, this isn't bad." And so when the movie ended, I'm like, "That was actually pretty good." Like, I don't understand. So I've watched it like maybe a couple more times since I've had it, and I still feel the same way. I, okay, I can see maybe why people don't really care for it coming off Apocalypse, but I still think Sophie Turner was better in this movie, way better than she was in the last one.
But I
I
but
think
I still
I agree with. No, I agree with Rob about that.
but I still don't really care for her much as Jean Grey anyway, though.
oh, I mean, you're right. Famke Jensen is the Jean Grey, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
obviously a younger version, and I don't. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's just there's not really much you can do about that with younger version, but
Sorry.
no, I thought she had more to do. I thought it was kind of interesting looking back into her past a little bit and exploring her. Actually, this movie was
Her
about kind of
childhood, right? Her childhood.
well, this movie kind of deals with her like her mentality and like what she's going through, like schizophrenia, and like she has like a disorder and stuff like there. I thought that was kind of interesting for her character,
Mhm.
but I honestly didn't care. I honestly didn't mind the way they did Phoenix a little bit. Should they have done more with cosmic stuff? Yeah, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it. As far as like action scenes, memorable. The train scene was badass. I thought the like that whole scene with
Oh,
like even with Magneto. I thought that was all really cool. Um, and I think all the characters were fine. I like their suits. Jennifer Lawrence, though, I mean, I think it's a positive that she's dead
Yeah, thank
in this
God.
movie. The fact that they did it like really early on,
Mhm.
that actually made it better. I think. Um,
Yeah, because she was like a black glaring hole.
she like honestly, out of all the characters and all the actors and actresses, I think she gave the least amount of performance out of everybody. Like
Easily.
she was just like you know whatever, let's go get them. We're X-Men or you know what she say in the movie? She's like X-Men, isn't that?
Oh my God,
Right, she
yes.
says that movie that one line is
You
what
want me to tell
really
you what it was? Because I did see it recently again.
yeah.
She says like maybe you should think about changing the name to X Women. It's the women instead of the men around this place most of the time. Like, no, because Quicksilver saved those astronauts just like
I
10 minutes ago.
can't remember. Was she being sarcastic or
No,
was
she
it?
was being mad at him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see
But
that was
not
stupid.
only is a bad line, but you could just tell like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence didn't give a fuck about any performance. But, like,
Exactly.
even she didn't. You could tell like she thought that line was cringe.
Right.
She's like, oh, God, see the stupid line.
I do like the fact that we get Hans Zimmer as the composer
Right.
this time.
Yeah.
That was actually
You know what? That is one positive, I will say.
cool. I thought the music was awesome, and
I forgot
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know why.
and look, like I like the whole ending to this movie too, where Charles and Eric show up to play chess. Like that, like Charles is there at the cafe, and then Eric, and then they play chess together, which is reminiscent of how they used to do that.
Yeah.
And then of course, I know a lot of people probably didn't care for the fact that Jean Grey, they named it Jean Grey's School for Youngsters instead of Xavier. They renamed the school, and then Charles
I don't think I like that part.
Charles is a dean, and then Beast takes over, which I'm fine with Beast taking over because that should be, he was his right hand man. As far as I don't know, I feel like this movie gets just kind of unnecessary hate.
Yeah, but that doesn't match up to the ending of Days of Future Past, where like it was all
Well,
good.
Can I mention one
No
thing?
ending matches that.
Can I
No,
mention,
what I mean by continuity though is like, so this is the new future. So it's like they must have something happen in between Dark Phoenix and the. I don't know. We'll never know. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Tom.
I was say, can I say one thing real
Go
quick?
ahead.
Yeah.
I will say, this is one thing I forgot to mention. I will admit that I think the musical score was better here than it was in Apocalypse
Oh, definitely.
because it's Hans. Who did the score for Apocalypse? Who was
That
it?
was John
Uh,
Ottman again.
John
Was it
Ottman.
Atman again?
Yes.
Hmm.
I would say I think that might have been his least
I still like the score in
I guess I would say that was his least desirable score when it came to the X-Men films.
You know what's funny?
Was Hans Zimmer sort of a last minute addition, or was he like full on board? Like,
No, because like John Ottman moved on to Bohemian Rhapsody.
oh, that's right.
So
You know what's
he
funny?
got-
You know what's funny? The guy who played Colossus, right? He was announced to having a role in this movie, but he did not appear, and he's credited as a stunt performer.
I guess
Oh,
he
that's
did the
crazy.
stunts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no one liked
It's
him.
funny because like this is around the time Channing Tatum was supposed to play Gambit.
Yeah,
And I
what-
remember he was supposed to be in Apocalypse, but he wasn't, and he
yeah.
wasn't in
Whatever
this one
happened
either.
with that idea?
Well, movie got scrapped.
And the thing is, too, like I actually like some of the characters better. Like I like Storm better in this movie than I did in Apocalypse. Like I thought she was better here. And like I said, Beast was pretty cool. I thought Phoenix was better. Even Nightcrawler was good, and I like their suits. Their suits were
Nightcrawler was good, yes.
their suits were the like you see there in the poster, like the original kind of like yellow
Yeah,
with
but
the
don't
X.
you remember they had these different suits at the end of Apocalypse, at the very end. I thought those were good,
Yeah, those were
but
they were
they
good.
always change suits.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to be unique.
Oh well.
Bottom
That's
line, look. Bottom line, I don't think this movie's that bad. I think it's actually pretty good. Would I rate it against like Days of Future Past and that? No. I still think First Class is better. I think X2 and X1, for that matter, is even better.
Do you think Last Stand's better than this?
No, I would.
You don't think so? Okay.
I actually prefer this over Last.
Do you think so, Thomas?
Do I prefer Last Stand over this, or do I
Yeah.
prefer this over Last
Yeah,
Stand?
which one you prefer?
I say Last Stand's a little bit better than this.
I agree with you. Last Stand is better than Apocalypse, but I have to,
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
yeah. And I know Dan feels the same way because him and I talked about this movie a lot. And if he was here,
Yeah,
right now,
he agrees with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So that's
Did
all
you-
I really.
Did you guys get to see this opening weekend, or?
It was. I think it was a Sunday. Yeah, it came out like Thursday or Friday.
Would you do a Sunday matinee, or?
I did.
Yeah.
I remember watching this on Sunday matinee.
There wasn't any.
Okay.
There wasn't hardly any. Like I said, there was like 6 people in the theater, but
I feel bad because it's like
I do too. Like
You
I
know,
feel like this movie.
because we knew this was gonna get rebooted after it already got bought by Disney. It kept getting delayed, and it was kind of like, well, they were just throwing it out there just to get it over with.
I knew this movie was going to be, it was going to be hated too. Like I went into this knowing this, knowing that, and I don't know, maybe that changed my opinion. Maybe I don't know. I just didn't. I came out being like, wow, but I don't know. I can't explain it.
I can't explain it.
but I sincerely do understand why people don't like it. I do understand that.
But do you think people are too harsh on it though?
I do that. Yeah,
Okay.
I do think that.
That's-
I do think
that's-
they're too harsh.
man,
Yeah.
that's today's world, man.
If
We're
you
so
want my
harsh.
opinion on that, though, do I think the Rotten? Well, I'm not going to say what the Rotten Tomato score is.
Not yet. I haven't talked about this movie yet.
I'm about to
Okay.
say when I looked at the Rotten Tomato score, when I looked at the IMDb score, well, when I looked at the IMDb,
I agree with Ray Rod. Potential.
no, I would say more of the Rotten Tomato score, so to say.
Okay, fine.
When I looked at the Rotten Tomato score, do I think how it's rated on Rotten Tomatoes? Do I think it's as bad as what they say it is? No.
Or how the
I've seen much worse.
the big time YouTube reviewers were kind of hating on this.
I mean,
This
when I
was
look,
this movie was getting smashed. I mean, it was.
I mean, and then when I look at Dark Phoenix as well, do I say like it's better than like? Honestly, though, I mean, as much as I didn't really care for Dark Phoenix that much, I would still say I would still watch this over things like Madam Web or
God, yes.
I would rather watch this than Eternals. Hell, I'd rather watch this over Shazam.
Oh, really?
2.
Okay.
I'd rather watch this over Shazam 2.
Anything's better than Madam Web.
Well, I would say this was even better than say like Shazam 2 or even Aquaman 2.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Because I don't really think when we did like the best and worst of last year's movies, like you couldn't really even tell. We couldn't even tell you really a thing about Shazam 2 or Aquaman 2.
They were that impressive, though.
Like that's how.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is not as bad as those ones.
Yeah, because like that's what I'm saying. Like it's better than most of the shit that we have today for superheroes.
There's always going to be something worse, and I think out of superhero movies, there are plenty of superhero movies that are terrible.
Madam Web is the bottom of the barrel. Oh,
Madam
keep
Web.
saying this the whole freaking year.
I couldn't believe how bad Madam Web was when people started saying that. I had to watch it. I'm like,
yeah, you think it's one of the things. It's one of the things you think like, okay, is it really that bad? And you watch
it was.
Oh my god, it is that bad. Like,
it was
actually is that bad.
Yeah, it's shit.
Bad.
It's a disaster.
It's pretty fucking bad.
I can't believe they actually thought that was a good idea.
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Anyways, Alex, go right ahead.
All right, Dark Phoenix. You know, this is one of these movies where I've seen it like I think 3 times already. I saw it recently. I want to like this movie so bad. Like I want to but I just can't bring myself to it. With that said, though, I don't think it's as bad. You guys, I agree with you guys. It's not as bad as everyone's saying it is.
No.
It has potential.
Yeah.
But I really felt like somewhere in the middle of making this movie, maybe it was when they were doing the research, they just gave up and were like, I can't hear anything. That's honestly how I feel. Like, because it has some good things about it. I'm thinking. Like, okay. I agree with Rob. Sophie Turner is a lot better in this than she was in Apocalypse. Because she has a little more to do here.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot more.
It's more focused on her.
So I think whereas in Apocalypse she really didn't do much until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Also because maybe she's I think Apocalypse she didn't have experience making a movie like that because she's more of a TV actress at the point. Yeah, okay. Makes you more confident. I think that's I see that comes across to me in this.
Yeah.
McAvoy and Fassbender are still good.
Yeah, they never
just are good. Yes.
Yes.
I think they've been good throughout the entire franchise of this prequel.
I mentioned the Quicksilver thing in Apocalypse. Here, he never mentions them.
Yeah, he never mentions. Yep. I know.
They never seen together because Quicksilver gets injured at the beginning of the movie, and you don't see him again till the very ending.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like sidelined.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because they couldn't think of a way like, okay, how can this guy be stopped? Well, we'll just injure him in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I know it's more serious tone. Like this is like the most serious X-Men movie, right? You say that?
I would yeah. It's dark. It's dark. It's kind of dark.
It's dark.
I mean,
yeah.
Would you say this might be the darkest of the no pun intended the title, but
I don't know. Days of Future Past was pretty dark at some.
But even Days of Future Past has some levity to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like, they never have any like humor in it at all.
No, this is. I'd say this one is probably the darkest.
Tone is the tone
it's like the most serious one compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
Because you know when in X3 when Jean Grey's killing like when she kills Professor X, you know how dark that was?
Yeah.
Like just imagine like the whole movie kind of like that in a way. It's like this movie kind of does that. There are some scenes of like comedy or they try, but
in this one?
Yeah, there's some scenes like, well,
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. Just the little bits of Quicksilver.
there's
That's
a
it.
little bit, but that the Jennifer Lawrence line was supposed to be comedic in a
Was
way.
it?
Yeah, because we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, haha, ex-women.
I
It's supposed
didn't.
to be like, it wasn't. That's why it didn't
Yes.
work.
I did.
That's why it
I
didn't
was,
work.
I was like, what the fuck is that?
It didn't come
Yeah, I
out.
forgot with Quicksilver. There's that one part where he's telling the kids like, yeah, like Jean saved the day, but I did most of the work. I did most of the work. That's what
Yeah, it's like subtle comedy. It's not like ha 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 knee slapper.
And then at the end, where you see him, he's all fine again, and then he's like, "Hey, no running in school."
Yeah.
Because he's barely in the movie.
I mean, at this point, you know what? Like, I agree with you. I think Days of Future Past should have just ended it with the ending that they had.
They had the perfect
Yeah.
ending.
Even though I like this ending, I prefer Days of Future Past.
Yeah, you mentioned the ending of this one, like where you see Charles and Eric playing chess. Like I like where them two are at the end of this movie. Like they're
That's what.
legit
Yeah,
friends now.
right.
And I like
yeah.
how Eric tells me, "Yeah, you gave me a home once. Now I want to return the favor." Like I like.
Yep.
At least I knew, like we all knew this was gonna be the final one because it's
Right.
bought by Disney now. Even though it wasn't the best movie ever, I did like that it mostly had a finale to it. Even though they have that little tease at the end with the Phoenix.
Well, that's what I mean. They could have made something after this to make it cosmic because she's already in the cosmos now. After what she did, she destroyed View.
I mean, I think that was the plan before it got bought by Disney.
Yeah, she destroyed Vuk with when they were in space there, but then, you know.
Yeah, because remember at the end of Days of Future Past, we see Jean alive. She has a very red hair, the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hair. So you knew, okay, it happened to her again.
Right.
But she's alive this time. So this was, but Disney.
Like I said, they needed to make a Phoenix saga. They need to make like an actual Phoenix saga.
I think that's what they were gonna try, but that was the wrong time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong time.
It like baffles me that like Simon Kinberg wrote X-Men 3. And he wrote this one too. So he wrote 2 Phoenix movies.
Yeah.
He didn't get it right either time.
Mm.
It's like, I don't know why they keep hiring him. Get him away from superhero movies.
I mean, I prefer, like I said, I prefer this Phoenix over what they did in X3. I just do. I just prefer it.
Well, this was a little bit more accurate.
It was, well, but again, I like the whole mental state that she's in, and she can't figure out what's going on. And like I like that. I like it's like a character study,
right?
And it does it way more than an X3 because in X3 it just happens, and we're just supposed to be like, well, I guess she's bad now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Even she in the movie, she's like, I don't know. I'm just here.
Yeah, right. Let me kill Professor X.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like there are some parts of the movie that like they remind me of X-Men 3 a little bit.
Yeah, there are some, yeah.
Where, like, I don't know if this was supposed to be, like, dude, honestly, like, I don't know if this was supposed to be, like, a dark scene or what, but, like, when she's making Charles walk, I'm not going to lie, that looked a little goofy.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no,
I agree with that, yeah.
He's like, Gene, you know I can't. Like, no, yes, you can. And he's like, Gene, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
I'm like, okay, that's a choice.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Like, okay. Oh, did you guys think it was in character for Beast to want to kill Jean after Jennifer Lawrence died?
In character?
Yeah, because I felt it was kind of out of character.
I thought it was too.
I guess
I get why he's angry.
If it was in the moment because he was angry, then maybe. But yeah,
Well,
it probably wouldn't be him thinking because he thinks about everything. He's a scientist, for crying out loud.
Right.
But
that's what I felt was out of character. Because he literally goes to look for Magneto. Just like, hey, he tells him what happened, and he's like, like let's join together and let's go kill Jane.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But didn't he discover, or he hadn't discovered what was going on?
What was really going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. I did like that moment though where Magneto finds out that she's dead. He doesn't have like a big giant reaction. He just like walks away, puts his head, cries. That was actually a good choice.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just to show you how good of an actor Fassbender is.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like you get to see that a lot.
He's always
see. There's good moments like that in the movie that are sprinkled throughout.
Right. That's what it is. It's like sprinkled. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish to. Like it did have potential. The train scene, I thought it was okay. It wasn't bad or anything. It was like,
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It felt a little claustrophobic.
That's why I liked it, because I thought it was
okay,
kind of like.
You liked it? Okay.
It's kind of like, I'm a claustrophobic person anyway, but
okay.
Like I like that. Like you don't. Where do you go? It's like.
Yeah.
That's why I like The Descent so much, because of that aspect too.
But that was the entire movie, though. That was the entire tone of the movie.
That's true. Yeah, but
those creatures were scary.
Heck yeah!
Oh, God, yeah. I still get terrified of this.
Yeah, those were cool.
But yeah, but overall, I thought the movie was just there. It's not horrible. Like
no, by no means is it horrible.
Do you think it's so or?
Yeah, I guess he's so.
Would this be a one where you think that it's just okay?
I kind of had a reaction like this, like
so. It's more so. Like okay.
Yeah. Because people they really bash this. This is like one of the most hated movies as far as superheroes go.
I don't see that at all.
Well, it is. It's true.
I know, but I don't know. I don't want to say. I want to say it's a bandwagon, but it does seem that way. It does seem that way. So I don't know. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, me neither.
Thomas, nothing.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So you guys mentioned the movie was a big flop. It only made $65 million domestically and $246 million worldwide on a $200 million budget. So not very good.
And it gets a 5.7 on IMDb. And
that's not that low.
And the Rotten Tomatoes score was 22%.
That's really low.
Yeah. That is very, very low.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's. It should be. I still think it should be like more like the 40 something.
But it seemed like people didn't make up their minds.
I would say like the upper 40s range is kind of more in my ballpark. Not 22%.
All right, that was Dark Phoenix one. So technically, that was it for the prequel movies, but we got
this one though.
The New Mutants, which I wouldn't call it a prequel movie, but it's part of the X-Men franchise. It's technically
came out during COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
2020.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one where it kept getting delayed.
Yep.
Yeah, was it supposed to come out in like 2018?
Yes. I remember. It originally got delayed. Okay,
supposed to be like Anya Taylor-Joy's like next big movie after Split.
Right. And the thing is, like, this movie originally got delayed because it was going to get reshoots because they were going to reshoot it and make it more like a horror movie because it wasn't. It was just marketed that way. And then once it got delayed, Disney bought Fox, and they just kept shelving it. And then COVID happened, and they just threw it in theaters.
Right.
Yeah. So, and they never did the reshoots, by the way. So the version we got is the version that we're gonna get in 2018.
The way they described the way they described it was Stephen King meets John Hughes. That's what they wanted to do. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Like a tone.
Okay. So I don't have. Here's the thing. I don't have much to say. The only thing I'll say, the big thing I'll say about it, was I looked at this. It was 3 different genres going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was the John Hughes-esque coming of age story.
Yep.
2 was the horror
Mm-hmm.
movie, and then 3 was the comic book. And for me, it only did one of them right, and that was the coming of age stuff. Like I really like that stuff when they're just being friends
Yeah.
in the game to know each other.
Mm.
That stuff was good. Like I wish that was the entire movie, to be honest. If that was the entire movie, that wouldn't fine. Because when it gets to horror elements, I don't think it's really that scary or that interesting, to be honest. It feels a little generic. Like I've seen that stuff before. A lot better.
Yeah.
And the comic book stuff you don't really get to like the ending of the movie anyway.
Right.
So whatever. And I think the actors are all good. So that's the only thing that stands out for me was like the coming of age stuff. Like that was actually good. That makes the movie watchable for me. But other than that, again, so. I think Dark Phoenix was a little bit better. A little bit, not by that much, but that's all. That's all I got. To be honest, dude, that's all. That's yeah.
What'd you think about Antonio Banderas?
He wasn't in the movie.
I could have sworn that he
was supposed to be in the movie
as
as Mr. Sinister, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they were supposed to have Mr. Sinister in it.
yeah, but they cut that out of the script.
They were also supposed to have Professor X too.
Yeah.
In the movie.
But again, they decided to just keep it more standalone.
Yeah.
So that's it. You guys go ahead. I got nothing else. I really don't. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much more. There's not much I want to say about this either because I have the same feelings as you do. I think the camaraderie between the characters is good because I do like the actors in the film. I think they are very good actors, and I really like the banter that they have, like hanging out and bonding with each other, and like that stuff was good. But like when it came to the comedic stuff and when it came to the horror, I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing what the horror elements were going to.
That's why it was marketed as a horror movie.
And very underwhelming horror elements. And
like the Slenderman creatures or whatever they were?
Yeah.
What was that?
That's
what it was, right? That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that's what it basically kind of did. But no. I mean, and like I said, it would have been interesting to see what Antonio Banderas would have done if they didn't cut him out of the movie or they reshot that kind of stuff. I mean, it would have been interesting to see.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. I did like the mental hospital setting. That's a good setting.
It is. It's
just a weird.
Well, then there's the Essex Corporation, which is Mr. Sinister. So that's a pretty cool tidbit.
Maybe we got a sequel.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a trilogy. This was supposed to be a trilogy.
It's always supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, it's supposed to be a trilogy.
Oh God. Oh my God.
And like I said, and it was also kind of cool. It was I like the actors. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I like Maisie Williams, Alice Braga, Charlie Heaton, Henry Zaga.
Dude, you remember everybody's name? I don't remember all of them. I just remember they're good.
I mean, I'm pretty good with names. So don't get me wrong. So that's why.
Or maybe you're looking at the IMDb list right there.
Yeah, I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy. She plays Magic, which is Colossus's sister. That's pretty interesting.
You have Maisie Williams as Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane, yep. And then Cannonball. I remember him from X Factor or X Force. I mean,
we didn't mention this yet, but Adam Beach is in here as as William Lone Star as whatchamacallit,
the dad,
Mirage's father, yeah. I will say he has I think his role in here is better than what it was in 2016 Suicide Squad.
I was about to mention the star of Suicide Squad. Slipknot, the man who can climb anything.
Oh God.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, it had potential. Don't get me wrong, but um,
This is another one that got shit on.
Yeah,
and,
but
and
it didn't get shit on as hard
I
though.
don't think it's that bad.
It didn't get shit on as hard as Dark Phoenix.
Right.
It didn't, but it was kind of close.
This was one of those movies that kind of it was there, and then like people forgot about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Like, people
like
didn't.
no one.
It's like some people didn't even know like what this was or what
Because it came out during
Yeah,
COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
When most theaters were closed anyway. And by the way, I did see this in theaters. I remember when I told Rob when I saw it in theaters, you were like, theaters are open? Like, some are. And I decided to go see it.
yeah.
I remember
Mr. Taking a Chance.
Yeah. Hey, I wore my mask.
I know.
I remember there was like 2 other people in the theater.
Yeah.
But
It was one of the
yeah,
first times
I
going
don't
to
have much.
empty theater.
I don't have much other than that to say.
This was my first COVID theater experience.
No, this was like August, right?
Yeah.
August 22. So that's
'Cause
that.
I just moved in. Yeah, I just moved in my apartment at the time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
by August, I remember COVID was running strong. It was like
yeah.
rampant.
Yeah. Thank
Oh, I'm
God.
sorry. It was Tenet was the first one I saw during COVID. It was Tenet.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Oh well, whatever. Hey, I was supporting theater. It was for those theaters' sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we didn't know what was gonna happen. We thought,
that's true.
but Thomas, you have anything else to say about New Mutants?
I got nothing else.
Okay, go ahead, Rob.
I have very brief thoughts, like you did.
I have brief thoughts too. I think this movie's all right. I don't think it's as bad as people say. I think it's kind of interesting in some plot points here and there. It's an interesting way of how they did it, but I wouldn't call this movie like good. I just say it's okay. Like, it's there.
Mhm.
I think it had a lot of potential to kind of expand on the lore a little bit and different things, but I just think it failed in that aspect. I do like some of the characters. The actors and actresses are pretty good. But yeah, it only had a budget of like 60 to 80 million. It only made like 42 million at the box office.
47 million.
Or yeah.
Well, yeah, but like it was a COVID release.
Yeah. Mark Snow did the music, and I'm not really familiar with his work.
The only thing I'm familiar with that he's done, he scored the X-Files movies.
Oh, okay.
So the X, he likes X stuff.
Oh, right.
X-Files, X-Men, Mutants.
Rosario Dawson was supposed to be in this movie too.
Well, she was to play the nurse.
I think it doesn't. Claire Temple, who was part of a series and
the role she plays in the Daredevil Netflix show.
right,
Those Netflix shows. Yeah,
Claire
okay,
Temple,
that
yeah.
character.
Yeah, that she was supposed to be in this. What is Sunspot? The guy who played Sunspot, and then Rosario Dawson was supposed to be, but
Okay, I didn't know that.
that was when the Professor X thing was going to be in the draft. But the thing is, like, so many things have changed. Like when they were trying to make this movie.
Yeah,
They
mentioned the X-Men
right
in the movie. I remember that.
I don't know. This movie, yeah, I don't know. I think Dark Phoenix is way better than this film, but yeah, not really much to say about it. It's just one of those, like I said, one of those releases where you're just like, it's there, it's okay, I guess, and nothing really happens here and there. It's just,
It's sort of like in one ear, out the other.
yeah, it's like one of the most forgotten movies. It's like really, like no one has any idea.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know why? Because even when I was setting up the streams for this franchise, I even forgot about this movie.
Well, 19 Ray Rod says I totally forgot about this, but
Yeah,
see,
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah.
No,
that's
remember, Rob. Remember how I was setting up how we're gonna do the streams, like the X-Men, the trilogy, the original movies, and then the prequel movies, and I forgot about this one. Totally fucking forgot. Until the last minute, like, oh yeah, guys.
yeah. I guess we could have just skipped over it, but I mean, might as well add it because
Yeah, I mean, technically it's part of the franchise.
it still takes place. Yeah, they mentioned the X-Men and
There's mutants.
Yep.
But which I think did they mention Professor X? or just the X-Men in general?
I don't remember, but like I said, Professor X was supposed to be in the script.
McAvoy Stewart. These timelines are
It
confusing.
doesn't. It didn't say.
These timelines are confusing.
It didn't say. It just said Professor X.
Does this take place in modern time? I don't remember.
You mean what? Like when it took place? Like the year? You mean?
Yes. Does even? I don't remember.
It's for. Trying to
Or is it? Did it keep it vague?
I honestly don't remember. I think it's modern time.
I mean, just going off by the stuff they're wearing, the clothes they're wearing.
Yeah, I mean it seemed modern clothes. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
I honestly cannot remember if there's like a. I'm sure the time period shows up. You know, when the beginning happens, when the what do you call that, the Native
wolf?
American, the Native American thing, the reservation, it gets hit by that, and then, but I don't remember if there was like a time period.
Yeah, it's very vague. Well, that's the one thing I was going to mention about Dark Phoenix. That movie takes place in the early '90s, but you can't even tell. There's nothing about '90s at all in the movie.
No,
that's one thing I didn't like either.
What'd you think of that? What'd you think of the Demon Bear, though? I thought the Demon Bear was pretty kind of creepy at some points.
It was okay, I guess. I don't know.
Like in the beginning, like that, it was kind of horror.
Yeah,
I guess.
I guess it was a little bit better than the Slender Man shit or whatever it was.
Well, yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever it was. It looked like Slender Man or something.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know. It's
okay. All right. So nothing else from you, means Thomas? Nothing.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So we did. Hey, look, we did 5 movies in less than 3 hours. That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
We've gotten better, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I mean, you guys already mentioned the box office. So I won't get into that. 47 million worldwide.
Oh, and it has a
$80 million budget, so it flopped. So.
And the Rotten Tomato score and all that stuff.
COVID.
It has a. Let me pull it up real quick. New Mutants has a 5.3 on IMDb.
Damn.
And it has a 36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I wasn't expecting to be that high on IMDb.
Well, it's not that it's hated. It's just like people just didn't care to even give it a chance.
People just fucking hated it.
Just like, so yeah. So that was the prequel movies plus New Mutants.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. I see you started off strong, but just keep declining.
Yep.
At the days to push past. All right, so when we come back for the next stream, we're gonna talk about the Wolverine movies because there was no Wolverine in Dark Phoenix or New Mutants, so we need some Wolverine in our lives. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about.
We need some Hugh Jackman in our veins.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about like Logan. We're gonna talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Not in that order, but yeah.
Well, I'm saying like some of them we're gonna mention.
X-Men Origins, and then the Wolverine, and then
Logan.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
I meant to say, should we wait until
no
Deadpool 3?
No.
For what?
Waiting
for what now?
Shit.
Oh, for Wolverine.
Well,
no.
that's more of a Deadpool movie, though. It's still
we
Deadpool
are
movie.
Covering the Wolverine movies first, and then we'll get to the Deadpool.
Even though Wolverine is in it, it's still more of a Deadpool movie.
So we're gonna cover
the Wolverine movies first, yes, before Deadpool comes out, and then after Deadpool 3 comes out. Then
so we're gonna cover Origins, the Wolverine, Logan.
That's it.
Oh, is that just those 3?
Those 3.
Okay.
Next stream, okay.
And then after that, Deadpool 1 through 1, Wolverine. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wolverine. Yes. That way we can give people time to watch the movie and the new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to do a stream every week. no time.
Yeah, we have jobs.
I don't.
Yeah, sadly.
No, just kidding.
You don't have a job?
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
You loser.
There's an inside joke within myself.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Graphic Vandalism, Ray Rod, and
the Roman Reigns.
Mr. Roman Reigns, the Roman Reigns.
Give me tickets to the show. I need some, Roman.
Yeah.
I want tickets to the wrestling.
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks everybody for watching. Like the stream, subscribe, share. If not, oh well, whatever.
If you don't, then why the fuck are you even watching us?
Right now, right.
Yeah, why the fuck? Get out.
Roman Reigns is subscribed to me. That means the Roman Reigns is subscribed to me. Then.
Yeah, but get fucking Roman Reigns in the fucking house. Give it.
It's not Roman. It's so.
It is. What if it is him?
You know, right?
Could you imagine if Roman Reigns watches the fucking?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Wow.
That'd be funny as hell.
I would have been a fan from day one. All right. All right, everybody, have a good one. Tune in next time for the Wolverine movies. Trilogy. Whatever. Okay, bye-bye.
I got healing factor.
No, you don't.